see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboys fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, you guys any...
You're listening to the Captain Jack Sports Show on Northeast Streaming Sports.
All right, apologies, folks. There's been some mental glitches and computer glitches. I will say, and I'm going to try to get everybody here because I want to have everybody in here. And we have the Sonias of the Carolina Pantherettes. I got the okay, now it's Sonia Pearson. Yes. Right. Okay. And then Sonia Pink Fanfur, who's over honey, can you move your camera up, or I got to get rid of that banner because I can barely see you, and I want to make sure that people can see you. So let's see here. There we go. Well, that's better, but I'll hide that. There we go. Yeah, boy. Get that dub. Get that dub. Now, Pink, can we hear you?
Got the dub, yeah. Can't hear her.
We can't hear. Gosh darn it. Yeah. We're gonna be doing sign language all night. That's trust me. If there's somebody that I want to hear from who's as vocal as she, and rightly so, as vocal as she was when I was talking to her after the game on Sunday, that's why we need to hear. We need to hear Pink Fanfare. So we are going to try. Now, I am not doing this because I'm mad at you, Pink. But I'm kicking your ass out of the studio, so I want you to try to come back in. Yeah, I know, right here holding. Okay, yeah. Try to come back in on the other computer because we've tried it twice, and I definitely want to hear from you. I know Miss Pearson will give. She'll try to give as much smack as possible. I know that we need to have the two ladies talk smack together, but go ahead and bounce and see if you can come back so we can hear from you. Because otherwise, you're just going to be in the comments section, and it's not the same.
We're going to see
it's
her.
Not the same.
Because she let me know.
This would be total chaos. Yeah, I wouldn't have anybody to espouse the Panthers, and they could talk smack. They can talk smack because it was deserved. And I don't know, Sonia, if you had a chance to
can you hear me?
What is it? To hear what I said on the other shows on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I said, Raider fans, do not overlook this game. We went into Chicago last year and everybody was expecting a win. We went into New York a couple years ago when we got rained on and it was cold and the Jets fans were congratulating us on the win as we're walking in the stadium, right? And there have been games like this where, and I don't know if the Raiders themselves were listening to all of the stuff because I tell you, it was hard. It was hard to watch, but I'm very upset that we lost, but I am glad that I was right when I said, see, I can tell you I was right.
Yeah, it was really a good game. And as a Panthers fan.
No, it wasn't for you. It was a good game for you, damn it. Get that right.
I am over the moon excited. When I tell you the first quarter alone was just like standing on business. The Red Rifle is the only quarterback right now in the league with 300 plus yards and 3 touchdowns. And this is his solo performance for 1 week. He, the last time we saw him was in 2023 and he put up similar numbers, but this time he just, obliterated the competition. We got the Bengals coming up next. That's crazy because I know him from being with the Bengals. So he's already earned his starting position. And it's a great feeling. I'm sorry it was to your team, Captain Jack, because, I'm fond of you. We're friends. But hey, we had to get us a dub by any means necessary. And so, we got it. Panthers fans can smile, 1 week at a time, 1 game at a time. And we're hoping we're back. And I think I can hear Sonia a little bit, Pink Fanfare, just a tad.
Come on, Pink. I know you want to say something.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. It's just a slight delay with your verbal, but hey, we can hear you.
Yeah, hey, it's better a delay than nothing.
Yes,
for sure. And that's why now wait a second. I can't have you both gang up on me at the same. So I got to go in the middle.
I was going to
Okay.
ask you why
So
you were
I got-
all the way over there.
Well, here it is. You know, because I know I'm going to hear about it left ear, right ear. So this is the show left ear, right ear of both you ladies talking in my ears. Okay, but it's, as I said. Here's the thing. Okay, I never talk, or I shouldn't say I never. 98% of the time, I don't talk Shiite until the end of the game. Okay, because if you do, you're often made out to look like a fool. Okay, but that's why I said I told Raider fans, don't take this one. Don't put it up as a W. Don't think the Raiders are just going to throw their helmet on the field and the Panthers are going to quiver and quake, especially after it was announced. Especially after it was announced that Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, was on. I'm going to shut up for a little bit.
Right.
And ladies, yes,
Not
then not
right.
Bryce. Hey, by the way, did you see Samoan Raider and Oos? They were saying, put Bryce in.
Yeah,
Put
y'all
Bryce
getting beat down
in.
so bad. You were begging for Bryce because of that beat down.
We were begging for Bryce. That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
no.
ladies. You take it for at least a couple minutes. Now that I know you're here, go ahead. I'm going to listen and get listened in on. So go ahead.
I mean, I saw Pink on the sidelines. I saw her on CBS looking as beautiful and fabulous as she always does.
Yeah, she does.
Mean, her face on the network, you know, got their ratings up. And I was like, "There's my sister." So, Pink, how was it to be in the place? You know, actually where the spot is. We saw where you were because of all your lives. You had like premier seating right there on the level of, you know, floor, ground level, you know, field level. How was it to witness that amongst all those Raiders? Because those fans kind of seem intimidating, but you know, I saw some Panthers fans speckled throughout, and I definitely saw you. How was it to be there at the epicenter of all of that?
Thank you for the question. I'm so happy to be here to talk to Shiite. I'm here to talk to Shiite.
The Shiite.
Told you we was going to get the dub. I told you we was going to get the dub. We're talking to sheep. We got the dub. But let me tell you, before I go into all my sheets, it was absolutely amazing being there. It was absolutely amazing. It was great. All I can say is 2 words. Pre-game show, J-La. Shout out to all the Raiders Nation's fans and the J-Lot. They put it down. You know, they put it down. It was absolutely amazing. It was like walking through. It was just, everybody was so friendly and nice and humble. And they were offering us food and beverages and getting photos, and it was just great. You know, I was so excited. We all had such a great time with you guys. You have such great Western hospitality to us Panthers fans, and we were like, wait a minute, is it safe for us Panthers fans to enter?
Right. Yeah, because every time I see them, they be looking like they beat somebody's butt on some social media or something.
And okay, I'm going to interject.
They do look
quick.
scary.
Okay, we look scary, but both Pink as well as Soldier Gal were at the charity event on Friday night, and so she got her first dose of hospitality there, and she was there going like, "Are we going to be okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're going to be okay. Of course, you're going to be okay." I mean, first off, they were with me, but they had and I'm not putting words in their mouth, so you can say how it was on Friday night. You already said how it was on Sunday. Now, Saturday, we missed you, which was too bad. I'm sure you guys had Carolina stuff going on, but we missed you because our first party over at Eye Candy at Mandalay Bay. So for anybody that goes to a Raider game, go to Mandalay Bay on the Saturday before the game, and it is off the hook. It's great. It's great to have people out there doing that. So go. I need to text me right now. Harley West. I'm looking at my Instagram as well. But go ahead. It was great. It was great. See, we're not all prisoners on weekend passes from the California penal system.
I've been to Las Vegas like 5 or 6 times, but I've never gone during the season. I'm gonna have to go. Oh, who's Christ 35? Wow. Listen, Christ 35, you're right. My mom is German. That's crazy. You picked up on European ancestry. That's insane. And hi, Sheila and Raider Transplant Angelo. Raider Transplant and J Room.
I got Jay in the house. I swear I didn't touch anything.
So I know Maurice. I'll hold it down till she comes back. So we see, we see how that game went. I'm actually supposed to be studying right now, Captain J. And I had COVID a couple of weeks ago. I'm still not 100% feeling where I need to be. And trying to study as well. But I had to get on here and talk to you because you're my friend. I mean, at least you were a realist. You were a realist before the game. Like, hey, this might be a trap game. Don't sleep on the Panthers. And then, with us getting Andy Dalton, it was almost like, okay, the ratings went up. Like, okay, there's a real possibility. But you have to, address the elephant in the room. At first, it was just like, what is going on with the Panthers team, even behind Bryce? Now you see Andy Dalton and him, and the entire team looked different. We forced 2 defensive turnovers on you guys. Our quarterback isn't on the field when the defense is playing, so the entire team looked different. I don't know if it's because of the leadership or what. And hi, Cool Kev, and thank you, Raider Transplant Angelo. I feel like, what is it? Is it that, Andy Dalton's a vet? He's more respected. What happened that Bryce clearly doesn't have control of the locker room and the respect? Because anytime you see the defense play like that team looked like a whole different Panthers. I mean, offense, defense, special teams. I mean, even the Water Boys were passing out water with a little bit and Gatorade with a little bit more pizzazz. So I'm like, what is happening? You have to feel bad for Bryce. I feel like when he came to Carolina, he did not get the reception he was warranted. Heisman Trophy winner that he is. I feel like he did not come into a good franchise. They did not have things set up for him. And I always talk about the acclimation period between college and the NFL. You could ball all the way out in college because everybody's trying to compete to be the best. You get to the NFL, you're playing against all the best. So you have to really step your game up. I think you combine that plus the fact that Bryce is only like 5'8", 5'9". He's not 5'10", y'all. And, weighs not that much. I just think that he needs to probably be back up at someone else's team. I don't think he should be done with the league, but I feel like if Carolina had at least been so gung-ho on bringing him in and allowed him to sit behind Andy Dalton, or even if they had kept Sam Darnold, if they had kept Baker Mayfield and allowed the maturation process to take place, I think we would have been looking at a different Bryce rather than draft him and kick him out there. Everybody can't be C.J. Stroud. And C.J. Stroud went into an organization day one, took control day one, but he and D'Amico Ryans had the pieces already in place to make it a more solid transition. So right now, the rumor mills are swirling. Hey, is Bryce coming back? Ian Rappaport yesterday said we haven't seen the last of him, but he wasn't specific. We might not have seen the last of him as a whole, but we still may have seen the last of him in Carolina. There's swirls about him going to LA and Matt Stafford going to Florida for Tua Tagovailoa because he's out for an indeterminate amount of time. So we just don't know, what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what that looks like. All I know as a Panthers fan is that we got the dub, and I'm not going to be like, oh, we're going to the playoffs, we're going to the Super Bowl, and none of that. I want to just be like one game at a time. Let's just take this win. Krispy Kreme be giving like donuts and stuff in Charlotte when we win. And I know they had to go find the ovens to even make the donuts. It's been so long since we had a win. Like, you can't even find it.
Well, I definitely, hey, I love Krispy Kreme. So I have to, are they giving them out for free? Like buy one, get one or what?
Like they give out a dozen or something every time the Panthers get a win. And that's why I said they had to go out and buy new stoves because they probably got inundated. And it's been so long since they made donuts, they probably forgot the recipes for a win anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we only had 2 wins last year.
Well, like I said, that's one more than we have right now.
Yeah.
That's one more than we have right now. Angelo, transplant is in the background, but I'm not letting him in yet until I hear enough of the because again, I want to hear from Pink as well. Angelo, it's not that I'm mad at you. I'm not, because first off, I want to say I'm very happy to know that Angelo had his transplant 2 years ago. So he was able to go to his very first game at Allegiant with the crowds. And as the people were saying, the Raiders, I've never seen it more. Actually, I have the very first game with fans where it was the Raiders versus the Ravens, and it was raucous. It was all black for the most part. There was a few purple people out there for the Ravens game, very first one with the crowd. But it was loud. It was wonderful. It was raucous. But the way the Panthers played, they took the game away from the crowd, because the Raiders crowd is when it's on, it's on. And I will admit this as well. I have done something I did this last game that I have never done before. I walked out before the game ended. Even the security lady, even the security lady as I'm going up, and she's looking at me like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm out of here. Now, granted, I did have an ulterior motive. I needed to get over to where we were supposed to be doing the after game interview, which didn't happen because of other things that didn't happen. And my legs were horrible. So I knew we were going to have a long walk, and I had Raider Monroe with me. So I know that a lot of people were going to be getting pictures of her and I together, and just of her. So I wanted to make sure I got there early as I could. And I had to stop twice because my legs were just the saturation of the muscle mass, and I couldn't walk. But I left with 4 minutes to go. I didn't know that AOC 12 came into the game until somebody told, like Hollywood and Joker Raider told you, yeah, AOC played. I'm like, when did he play? He said, well, about 4. I said, I didn't see it because my back was to the field. I've never walked out of a game at Allegiant. Hell, I've never walked out of a game, period. But it was that awful. And again, I congratulate the fact that the Panthers offense, defense, special team, coaching, water boys giving the Gatorade, like you said, Sonia, they had us beat all the way over. And that was on y'all. And again, now here's the thing, though. I want honesty, though. I want honesty. Did y'all think you were going to win before the game?
I thought it was, I definitely thought it was doable, especially so with Bryce. I was like, I wasn't as sure. I'm gonna be honest. But I had people, because I'm here in Atlanta, they were like, hey, you guys have a legit shot. I was like, no, we don't. They were like, it's the Raiders, it's a hit or miss. You may beat them, they may beat you guys. But once they said that Red Rifle was coming in, I was like, oh, we probably got an 80% chance of winning, y'all. Like, we probably got an 80% chance. So when I saw, like, I was a little late starting the game because I was doing some other stuff around the house. When I saw what up, Cata? What up, Cata? That's the dude right there. When I saw the first quarter, Captain, oh, I was like, what do young people say? Go off. I was like, go off. So I was like, I knew then, because the week that we played the Saints, God rest, our soul. And I saw their first quarter because I was at the Falcons game, and some Falcons fans were like, are you okay? I was like, wow, what's going on? They were like, y'all are getting killed in New Orleans. I was like, no, we're not. And I looked on my phone. It was 17-0, 17-0, like with the first 3 or 4 minutes. I was like, oh, wow. So when I saw the score with you guys, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and like you said, I saw I think it was 14-7 first quarter, and then it was 21-7 by half. But even then, there was no life in the Raiders. There was no
And
life
that's
in the Raiders.
And that's
And
shocking.
it continued
What's up, Dennis
throughout the
Cocker?
game.
Dennis, the Trailer Park Country Band, they're touring the nation. I got to give a shout out to them real quick. Sorry about that, Cap. I just got to give a shout out to them. They are coming to a tailgate near you.
No, please do.
They are awesome. I had him and Citizens Band on my show last week. I want to say Citizens Bank. And we are working on a remix of their song. Tailgate. Pink knows about it. We're trying to get this thing nationwide. They were in Texas on a couple of weeks ago. Then they are just coming back from Minnesota. And they're going to be in Nashville at Nissan Stadium on October 13th. So make sure you check them out. They are, and they're going to the draft next year too. Like they did the draft this year. Like they are the legit. They're awesome. So shout out to them. And Edward says they gave us an early Christmas present.
Okay.
So let me just be clear. The only way you give someone a gift is if they didn't do anything to deserve it. Let's be clear, Edward. We did everything we had to do to deserve and obtain and conquer. Okay. And this is not for the West Side. I was throwing this up. This is for winter. I know Vegas is the West Side. This is the winter. And the Raiders are originally from Oakland. So throw up the dubs.
I got you. That's a dub. Now that's all I heard from Pink. We got the dub. We got the dub. Got the dub. So go ahead, Pink. Now that you came back again. I wasn't kicking you out. I want to hear you. I want to hear you now. It's still audio. Nope.
She's gonna make me have to do this show. I told her I had 10 minutes tonight because I have to study because it is midterms. But she is determined to make me be on here. You use your phone, Pink. Call in from your phone. We need at least the audio. And I need those sunglasses. So Raider transplant Angelo said, honestly, Panthers spent a lot of money in the O-line and weapons. They just needed the QB to drive the bus. I mean, that's true, but I don't know about the O-line. Like we didn't really spend too much. We had Xavier Legette. We have Jonathan Brooks, and I think he's on injury reserve though, right, Pink? Is he out right still or he played? He played? He did not play. So Xavier Legette, Mr. Geechee himself, he's like, yeah, man, I'm a Panther now. We got him. So, but then let's not sleep on Chuba Hubbard. Moten didn't tackle Dalton like he did, Bryce Young a couple of weeks ago. Taylor Moten tackled him. Deontay Jackson looked good. I mean,
Deontay Johnson would killed us on every slant cross, and the Raiders defense looked horrible, and they were running slant cross, mostly from the left to the right all game, and he couldn't be tackled. And somebody was saying, I can't remember exactly who it was, saying he was playing like schoolyard, like he's a seventh grader against third graders. The way he was running away from people, and it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. And it was the same play over and over and over again against the zone. He killed it. And obviously Dalton killed it as well. And I don't know what you call him, Chuba? Or I thought it was Chuba. Yeah, whatever.
Chuba Hubbard.
Okay. Well, Chuba Hubbard looked like the second coming of let me get it right. Bo Jackson, maybe, for Raider fans. He just was rolling up, would not be stopped. He'd take the first hit, the second hit, the third, and would get at least 3 more yards. So he looked fan. I didn't know who he was. I said, who the hell is that guy? But he was looking good.
They brought him in under Christian McCaffrey. So when Christian went out a couple of years ago, he came in for Christian. So, when I saw him play, I was like, oh, he's like the black Christian McCaffrey. Like, he's that good when he wants to be. But I would have loved to be a fly on the wall in the Raiders locker room after Suge Knight. I mean, what's y'all's coach name? Him. I would have loved.
Suge.
I know he cussed them out. I know he cussed them out in that locker room. Hi.
Yes. Yeah. And I put him on. That's transplant.
Hi,
I'm Angela. I'm Raider transplant. So I'll tell you the quick story on it. Like Captain Jack said, The last time I was at Allegiant Stadium at the Raiders game was January 9th, 2022. That was we were blacked out. It was the Chargers timeout game. We won. We go to the playoffs. Everything's going great. I'm sitting on the corner end zone. And then 3 months later, I was told I had 30 days to live, if you could believe that.
Oh, my God.
Didn't even know I was sick at all. They said I needed a new liver or I was going to die. And then miracle happened. God is good. And I was, been going through the recovery. Captain Jack's been a great friend. In fact, bought me this hat this weekend. We're matching right now. This is the Captain Jack special. So I did not know when I was going to get a chance to go back to Allegiant again. And again, man, God works in mysterious ways, because this Christian family who had row 7, 50-yard line, Cap, you saw the seats, row 7, 50-yard line at Allegiant. I mean, I was literally behind Brock Bowers, and I could almost hear what they were saying. But they were like, well, we weren't going to use the tickets. My wife found out about it. So those tickets, Cap, you would say is anywhere from what, $1,500 to $2,500 or something like that, right? I mean, it's an insanely amount. My wife essentially got it for $250. It was
my gosh. I'm so glad you first of all, I'm glad you're here with us. That is such a miracle. God is good. He is good all the time. Literally, I know people say that, but I'm literally looking at you and I'm just so grateful you're here. And I'm definitely great and bless that family that was able to bless you and your wife for such an amazing experience. I'm going to continue to pray for you for full 100% healing and recovery. And you just look amazing. I'm just so grateful to see you. So if Captain Jack, if for no other reason I got on this show tonight, I'm so grateful to see God's manifestation right here in front of us. I mean, we talk about football all the time, but sometimes it's football and faith and family.
Amen.
So
Amen. No, thank you so much. Thank you. And again, you know what? And Cap, I even did a whole video on Instagram, just sent, I mean, not publicly, but I was sending it privately to all the Raider Nation, where I was telling everybody I went there. I was there at 11 in the morning. I stayed all the way until they kicked me out of the Champions Club. And essentially I only left the seat once. I was watching the whole game. And I felt like, yeah, we lost to Carolina, but guys, why, don't get so upset, man. This isn't life or death. Like, I literally dealt with life or death. This is just us losing the game to a better team. So what I wanted to say, Sonja, though, is I know like how you, like when you talk about the Panthers, you're not, I mean, you're a fan, but you're not all the way in. When I was analyzing it, and I was saying this earlier in the week, the minute you guys got Andy Dalton, I instantly was like, oh, I don't know, man. I mean, Andy Dalton's beaten us 4 times, and it's not like
now 5.
Yeah, and when I was thinking about Carolina going in, because we pay attention to the pre-draft and the whole bit, the moves Carolina made this year, getting Leggett, and then you guys had Deontay Johnson, who was good at Pittsburgh. He just needed room to be him, right? And I always thought Chuba Hubbard is good. Like I got Chuba Hubbard in my fantasy team because I thought he was going to be good. And you guys spent millions on that O-line. I mean, I really thought the O-line was going to be good. So unfortunately, Bryce Young just needs to develop. That's just how it goes. He's not a CJ Stroud, like you were saying earlier. But he's not a Jaden Daniels, because Jaden Daniels looks like he's a day one. I was watching him last night, and I was like, wow, this kid is amazing. But Andy Dalton manning your ship, all I'm going to say is I watched the Cincinnati game last night against the Commanders. Don't be surprised if Carolina beats Cincinnati too.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a shootout. I think that, remember that it's a kind of a revenge game for Andy Dalton.
Yes.
He used to play, that
was the Who days, right?
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Right now, Cincinnati's 0-3. That locker room's not feeling good. Don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. Is
Cincinnati is my AFC favorite team, and I started liking it when Andy Dalton was there. And it's so crazy now we have him. And I've been like, last year I was like, well, I don't know how long we're going to keep him, but I got to get me a Dalton jersey in a Panther. And I'm just so glad to know that he's, back with us and making moves. I mean, it's just like people have mixed reviews. Some of them are like, oh, you guys, it's just one game. And some people are literally like, if you're honest about it, you're like, okay, now we have a legit chance to beat Cincy next week, especially seeing them perform against a rookie quarterback and knowing that even though Dan Quinn is there, they're still missing a lot of pieces in Washington. They do not have a solid team yet. So they're making up by putting special teams in certain places that they probably they got people playing different positions, is what I'm saying. So
like I said, like as I think you guys are kind of in a lot of ways in the same boat we're in, and this is the conversation. Hi Hollywood, good to see you on the chat. Anna, always love you. But me and Cap talk about this all the time, is we kind of have a QB issue, but the QB issue isn't that we don't believe Minshew couldn't do well. When I was watching it, and I was really close, like I could literally see like facial expressions, how the coaches were talking to the players. I didn't think, like, my take on it is I didn't think our players were really giving up. The two things I got out of it was, in the beginning, they were really tired. I felt like they were tired from the Baltimore game. So they started flat. And what you guys did is, it wasn't like the Raider defense wasn't trying in that first series, but Andy Dalton just like punched them in the mouth. Almost like in a heavyweight fight where you go in it. And I mean, like I was watching how Christian Wilkins was warming up and he was pumped. And I'm watching like how everybody's warming up. So the Raiders came and then they got knocked down essentially. In a championship fight, they got knocked down in the first round. And then it was kind of like, okay, now it's our turn to punch back. And when the way we ran those plays and the way we called, and I Cap, you're gonna have to give me something here, but why are we doing that playbook for Minshew again? Like, can you explain it to me, Cap? Because the way that playbook looks,
I don't need to explain it. I just put it on the screen.
And Pink, check the private chat. I sent you a message.
Okay. Yeah. Pink says she's going to come in on chat.
Okay.
So hopefully she'll be able to be there on chat.
I sent her.
Okay. No, she also said she's going to come in on chat as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what. Of course, man. If I would have known, that's why Apple sucks.
Yeah. Come in through
That's
Chrome.
Why. That's why Apple
they block it.
Apple effing sucks, and that is why I'm going to say that. Apple effing sucks. That's why we're having issues. So pop out, and you'll be able to come back in, because I was wondering why we didn't have her on. So
once she told me that, I was like, "That's a Safari issue." Oh, wait. Safari. So real quick, at school today, because you guys know I'm in law school, they just talked about Safari just did this big update 2 days ago. So if you were able to use it for Zoom, all this streaming stuff, the law school is even affected by it. So if you've used Safari in the past, Pink, this makes sense why you can't use it tonight. And it won't be resolved until about the end of the week. So you have to use Chrome or what is it, Mozilla, Foxfire, whatever it's called.
Firefox.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, log out, come back, copy and paste the link and go through Chrome. Watch her be perfect when she comes back.
Yeah, that's it. So it's not me.
So Cap, to be fair again, and again, this is the first time that I've ever watched a football game where I was so close, I can like really see what's going on. To be fair to the O-line, I thought that they protected. Okay, let me say it this way. I thought that the O-line, and again, you guys can eviscerate me if you want on the chat, but in my opinion, from the 50-yard line seats, row 7, I felt like the O-line gave enough time window for a quarterback like an Andy Dalton or an Aiden O'Connell to get the ball out quick enough to open receivers that were open. There were several times that I did see Devontae get open, or I saw.
The the problem with that is it makes them one effing dimensional, because if they can only pass, then people are going to start sitting on routes, and they're going to be able to cover the receivers because they know the offensive line cannot blow out the defensive line in front of them. Why? Because they're zone blitzing. They're not a zone blitzing type of offensive line. That's the main issue. So if you can only pass block, and still, I would say that they're pass blocking adequately, not greatly, but adequately, okay? You're not going to win games because the Getsy, and again, don't even get me started on Luke Getsy, but until they fix the offensive line, Getsy's going to be made to bear the brunt of why the offense sucks, because the offensive line needs to run to set up the pass. If you go pass, to go down the field, you might be able to get things done occasionally, but the corners are going to be able to sit on routes. The safeties are going to be able to come up. So, Minshew, thank you. Good. See, Angela, that's one thing he does. He has the capabilities to throw up comments. And
so what Hollywood is saying is and Hollywood, correct me if I'm wrong, man, but doesn't Minshew seem like he's got happy feet? Like there were several times, again, from my viewpoint, where it already looked like read one, which is Devontae Adams, was going to be open if he just let the ball go. But then he doesn't let the ball go. He kind of holds onto it, then he kind of runs, and then he runs again. And again, I'm not a Minshew hater, guys. I'm not. I'm just saying that I think the way Minshew could do well for us is if we were running 3 wide receivers or spread offense, one back, like something like that. Because this style, the style that Getsy keeps calling, is conducive for someone like Aiden O'Connell. Get the ball, dump it off, or get the ball, quick pass, right? And then run. Like that's an Aiden O'Connell style, not a Gardner Minshew style. So it's kind of like Sanja. I don't know if you watch boxing, but I feel like if you watch a boxer who's a fighter that's not a power puncher, but he's really good at jabbing and moving, you should let him do that. But if you tell that boxer, now I need you to go power punch and knock this person out, then they're just going to lose the fight anyways. And I felt the last 3 games, other than the fourth quarter of the Ravens game, they've been trying to get Gardner Minshew to play like Aiden O'Connell. So either play Aiden O'Connell or let's run plays that work for Gardner Minshew, which I believe is we go spread offense or trips with Brock Bowers, which is kind of like having 4 receivers anyways. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just too excited from seeing it so up close. Cap, what do you think?
Well, yes, I'm probably saying, but I want to make sure that we get the ladies to talk about their Carolina stuff too while we have them on. Absolutely, because we could talk about silver and black stuff, and obviously we will be here for as long as there are comments, and hopefully if people want to come in, because again, I know Sonia, the lawyer in training. See, I said it correctly this time.
Yes, you did.
The lawyer in training, because she ain't a lawyer yet, and I don't want to get her in trouble. But the lawyer in training wants to make sure that she gets back to her studies, and hopefully Sonia Pink Fanfer can find a way where because such beautiful faces, but no sound. That's why I said don't worry about the picture. The sound is the most important part of any broadcast, because you can be beautiful, and if you sound like Marge Simpson's sisters, it's not the best thing for a show.
I'm gonna tell her to call me so that she can just talk through on the phone. So that way you can still see her face. You can still see her face. Okay. I just told her to call me. Let me turn off my do not disturb so I'll get it. And then that way we can still see her and stuff. And hopefully I got the echo cancellation, so it shouldn't be super echoey. But if it is, we do. But I told her to log in through Chrome. I don't know what happened. Maybe she can't get Chrome on her device.
I don't know.
But it's just
I hate, but the fact is that both of you ladies are here, and I appreciate that because again, there are plenty of Raider fans that, and if you have anything you want to say, that you want to say,
yeah.
well, we're going to try it one more time. Hopefully, it will work.
Let's see if she came back through Chrome. Did she come back through Chrome? Yes, Sonya, the lawyer in training. I told him last time because he called me a lawyer, and I'm like, hey, now I have to really buckle down on that because we like took an oath that we have to make sure we have a professional responsibility. And the last thing I want to do is somebody think I'm already like, especially on this platform and my platform, because I've had a lot of people do it, so that's why I had to clarify. The last thing I want to be doing is someone think I'm trying to mimic an attorney, and I'm not there yet because that could get you like in a lot of trouble.
Oh, that can get you in trouble. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, yes. Pink, drum roll. Let's see if Pink, we can hear Pink.
Did you come through Chrome, Pink? You did? You might need to restart your device. Oh my gosh, and she looks so pretty. She's got her little makeup on tonight. She's supposed to be holding on the show. Listen, because I've been on here a long time. I'm going to try to just call me on the regular phone, Pink. Call me on the regular phone. I'm going to let her talk. She's calling me now so we can at least see and hear her. So when it rings, I'm going to answer it. I'm going to put it on speaker. And then you guys can hear her that way. Technology. There she is. Hang tight. All right, let me put her on speaker.
Good. We're because I know that she's been ready to bust. So I told her.
So this is what we're gonna do. Since she's talking, because when she talks, we're gonna all mute our line so that there's no feedback.
Okay.
So
as soon as she comes on.
She's calling me now. So go ahead and mute now so she can speak. Go ahead, Pete.
1, 2, 3, testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear? Yay! Oh my God, so frustrating. Yeah, this is what happens when you're not at home in the comforts of your own home. I'm glad to be in the show. Guys and girls, beautiful girls. So I'm sorry, I just have to show. I couldn't speak, but it's time to get in on the show. Just when you followed up and asked me how it's being there with all the excitement. It was very unforgettable. I'm not even going to talk about the win yet. I'm not going to talk about the dub yet, but I indicated and I mentioned earlier that.
So, Pink, do me a favor. Mute your device, even though you don't have any microphone access. Mute your device on there and just speak through the phone. Now go ahead and speak. Not your phone. Mute the laptop, whatever device you're using to see us with. And now speak through the phone. You ready?
Okay, the computer's muted.
Okay, you're good now.
Okay, good now. We got the dub. I'm just going to say that again. And it was just exciting to be there. And like I said earlier, 2 words, J-Lo. That was the bomb day. That was really fun part of me for us going through like this flea market. You guys had the tailgate stuff like the flea market set up, and it was just like everybody going through their party and having a good time. It was a very safe environment to be in. So we had a good time. Met a lot of good friends, my super fans, and then we rolled on toward the stadium. We had to walk up 1.5 miles to get to the entrance, but it's all good. What do you guys have, like one entrance on your stadium?
One entrance.
I mean, one way in and one way out. But anyway.
That's dangerous.
I think it's maybe 2 entrances. We just have to be way on the other side. So anyway, we were in section 105. So the way that I picked my seats, I asked Captain Jack, I said, well, where do our team, does our team come out of? Which tunnel do they come out of? Because it's really important to understand where your team comes out at when it comes to picking and selecting seats, because it's a strategy. You just can't pick any seats just because. You want to be there representing your team. So you want to make sure you do the homework as far as where your team comes out at, so you can be right there. And so he told me that they came out directly diagonally from where he sits to the 11th hour to get the tickets. So I didn't get my ticket until Saturday night.
Oh.
Yes. Well, I was watching the prices. So we watched the prices, and then I decided, let me just go ahead and submit. So the seats that we got were in section 105, row 2. Literally right there by the tunnel. And the two people that was in front of me were excellent and very humble Raider fans, super fans. Rosie, is that her name? Rosie, and they sat right directly in front of us. And so, well, of course, 2 minutes before the game ends, we knew we were going to win. And they're like, yeah, you guys come on down. They let us in that front row. And so all of the Panthers fans converged over there on that side.
Oh, wow.
Converged over here, and they're going to try to get over here. So they did. They came and converged on us. And the two greatest Raiders fans let us sit there in the top, right in the front. So it was very good. I mean, it was very exciting. It was.
How much were those tickets at the last minute?
$225.
That's it? Wow.
They drop. You got to watch them. They drop. The closer you get to the game,
yeah.
Prices do drop.
Yeah, I've done that before with some Falcon tickets and got right behind the team on the field level tickets. So you're right.
That's a good strategy to have. But I think the Roaring Right, we're sitting in section 106. So we were kind of like really right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we won, we knew we were going to win. Just anticipation. The anticipation was like, come on. All of the camera guys came over there. It was like being in the NFL draft again. All of the camera guys over there. It was like, it's just really fun, really exciting. And we just felt really good that we got this dub, because I went into this game thinking we had an opportunity to get in. I'm going to go in every game with optimism and enthusiasm. I'm not going to go in there thinking, well, no, we're not going to get this, we're not going to get that. I'm going to call this into existence and claim this. And so we did that, and we got that win. I saw Bryce Young coming out. He seemed very happy. He seemed very humble and gracious. He didn't seem like he was upset or angry like some of the social media portray him to be.
Right.
Angry, pissed. That's not his DNA, people.
Yeah, he stood by and high-fived everybody after the game. I saw that. And he was hugging his parents.
And I haven't seen his parents all year. I haven't seen his parents all last year and all this year. So I'm like, where is his parents been?
Honey, his parents coming to pick him up and take him home. That's what they doing. They being real parents now. Like, listen, you are messing with our child. We are here for him.
I was just happy to see how the look on his face wasn't as traumatized as I saw it as it was last week.
Oh, Lord.
The face that I saw was very traumatized. Now, you guys know I'm a counselor, so what I can see is in his eyes, he's very traumatized, and almost like he's suffering from, I hate to use the word suffering, but shell shock. And just maybe that confidence level has gone down, and after he got benched, it is what it is. It has to happen. It happens to the best of us, and that might have got his confidence down somewhat. But me seeing his face made me feel a little bit more comfortable that he wasn't as bad off as I thought he was. But I still hope to save his heart.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, he's literally been. Let me mute this. Let me, because this be giving me feedback. He's literally, I have to agree with that. He's literally traumatized. He's taken all these hits physically. And he's been literally scampering for his life for over a year now. And they've talked about how his performance has actually gone down, from last year. Like the first 2 games, they were like, he's worse. He's worse. And I just feel horrible for him as a person. And I feel bad for the organization of the Panthers. I don't feel bad for Tepper because he's the owner and all that stuff. He's the one that made these decisions. I feel bad for all the coaches who have been fired under this entire supposedly bringing in the quarterback situation. I feel bad for every coach who lost their job. I feel bad for every teammate who was traded, who was trying to make the best of a good situation. And because we basically sold the farm, sold the cars on the farm, came back, sold all the animals, sold any offspring that hadn't even been born yet to get Bryce Young. And now, we're not going to be stuck with him. I mean, this is year number 2. It says a lot that he's benched in the second game. And I really don't like to use the word benched because to me, benched is always like it's reflective of the performance of the player. And I just think this is one of those situations that at 5'8", it's not the performance of the player. It's the performance overall of the team and what works best for the team. And I'm angry a little bit because I like I was telling Captain in talking to Raider Transplant a little bit earlier, they should have left Baker Mayfield with the Panthers or Sam Darnold so that they could have brought Bryce Young in and allowed the maturation process to take place like Green Bay does with their quarterbacks. But no, you drafted Bryce and you tossed out Baker and Sam Darnold. Then you were scrambling for somebody to come in, and then that's when you went and got Dalton. And Dalton sat over there chewing his gum, fired up, ready to go. And now that we have, I'd like to say, been donated 2 games last year. I really don't even think we won those 2 games. I saw the Falcons game. I think they were just like, God, just give them a game. And I definitely feel like the Houston Texans gave us a game because CJ and Bryce have been friends since they were 15. And they were like, listen, this game is not going to really matter to us. Just go ahead and give them the win. And so technically, it had been close to 290 days since the Panthers even had a freaking lead in a game. And so, we're going to ride this. I mean, I was saying I was going to wear Panther stuff every day this week to school. I got on a Bryce Young jersey now, but I haven't. But yeah, so that's what I gotta
Sonia, I'm gonna disagree with you on one thing. Okay, he was benched because of performance, team performance, and his performance. He was benched. There's no getting around it. He was benched. And I think that he's going to go through the same thing that the kid that was playing for the Niners that got dealt to the Cowboys, from the kid from North Dakota State University, I can't remember his name. He had the same thing. Okay. So he's going to sit there in Carolina and languish up until the time that somebody wants to give him a chance. Now, the unfortunate thing is that he's too small. He's like 5'9", maybe, and he's about $160.
Yep.
He's too small. He can't see over the offensive line. And I was surprised that he hasn't been sandwiched and popped in half. So he's going to be that small. Yeah, Trey Lance, thank you. He's going to go about the way that Trey Lance was. He didn't get his opportunity in the Niners, so they dealt him for a low pick for Dallas but at least Trey Lance has got the physical intangibles. And Bryce Young, and I'm not saying he sucks because, again, he is a Heisman Trophy winner that played well in college. But you know what? There are plenty of Heisman Trophy winners. In fact, you drafted one years ago who played for Florida State. That's absolutely sucked as a pro. That's Chris Wenke. There are Heisman Trophy winners that absolutely sucked. University of Miami, Gino Torretta. Okay? It doesn't matter if you're a Heisman Trophy winner. It's how that play performs in the NFL. And I would say that
he was that small until they drafted him.
He's small, but see, that's the thing. That's why you go to the combine and you see what you're getting.
So they went to the combine and they saw him.
Yeah, then that's on your general manager.
They said Nicole wanted him.
Perform at the combine. He didn't perform at the combine.
But no. But he performed amongst people and did the physical things, because the combine, that's why when you see a lot of these people that don't go to the combine and you kind of like go, it's because of things like that. The physical intangibles. By the way, Angelo, how the hell do you do that? Because I want to, he actually got all the 4 screens to be as big as possible. It's the physical intangibles that you either get in a pro day workout or at the combine. But don't you tell me that you didn't go to his pro day down in Alabama and see how short he was and how skinny he was. That's on the general manager.
They were at his pro day because it was televised on the SEC network.
And his handstand was probably the length of 2 fingers.
What's that other coach we had?
Steve Wilkes.
Frank Wright.
Oh, Frank Wright, yeah.
Right. He was there. The owner was there. They went to his pro day. And let me ask you this question, because you mentioned his size. Everybody always mentions his size. He cannot help who he is in the size he is. I don't know why people keep pounding on him about his size.
Tiny quarterback.
Well,
I get. Hey, I'm not downgrading his size. Hell, I used to be, and I'm going to say this as well. I used to be 5'11" and a half. But now if you put me on I'm 5'9" now. I've shrunk. But that's from age and cricky backs and, hunched over and shit. The kid is what, 22? He's 22 years old. And he's 5'9". And Doug Flutie, he's barely above what Doug Flutie was.
Let me ask you this question. This is to all you Raider fans out there. Is there a reason why you brought in Too Short to perform during halftime?
Yeah. No, yeah. That's not. Hey, no. That is not a slam at Bryce Young. Too Short is a very well known.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Too Short is an acknowledged Raider fan.
Yeah,
he is an acknowledged Raider fan.
There's no coincidence in that. Let me tell you, when Russell Wilson was playing with Seattle and we were playing him in the playoffs, all they were playing was Future music because that's his wife's baby's daddy. There is no way you guys didn't deliberately do that.
Yeah.
No. Look at Hollywood's comment. Too Short is at a lot of Raider events. It wasn't a dig. It was not a dig. Too Short is an acknowledged Raider fan. Blow that fucking whistle because it was for him. It wasn't for y'all. It was for us. And I had to drop an F-bomb because you ladies were thinking into that. That's not true. Too Short is a Raider.
And Sonja and Pink, just so that you understand, so Too Short is like OG Oakland. And
we know who he is.
Yeah. So he's been doing that for us since we were in Oakland. Like, he's a big deal. But also, Sonja, since you got excited, so our halftime shows are fire at Allegiant. And on this halftime show, so on the game that we did the Chargers on that January game, the timeout game, we had Lil Jon performing on that one.
ATL.
And then on this one, which was also, so I've been to 2 Allegiant games, both were blacked out. On this one, we had Too Short, Big Boy from Outkast, and we had old school. Come on, help me out, Cap. You down with OPP?
Oh, Trick,
Naughty by Nature. Yeah,
Trick,
Naughty by Nature.
Naughty by Nature. Yes.
Yeah. So
it's the 90s. That's our era. And listen, Sharif Salakhon. I remember somebody mentioned earlier that Steph Curry was there. Steph Curry went to school in Charlotte. He is a huge Panthers fan, and that is the reason why I like Steph. And while he's with the Warriors,
that's what he said. He knows that he's a huge Panthers fan. Having him at a Raider game was the kiss of death.
I'm excited about that. He represented. Yeah,
But no, it's not good.
I saw Warren G. They showed Warren
Oh yeah, that's right. We had Warren G there too.
Yeah.
So check this out, Sanja. So this is
Pioneer Spirit is poking at, just poking the pound. Baby Warren G.
So Sanja, this is how dope our events are. Just so that not I'm sure you guys will stay Carolina Panthers fans, but I'm telling you, man, Raider Nation, we do it right. So we had a pirate ship on the parking lot during the fan tailgate event, and Warren G was singing or was rapping during that time. So I'm just saying, man.
No call y'all out though. Y'all put all y'all efforts into the halftime show and not the real game.
Thank you. That's what we said. That's what it was said, and it's true.
I'm straight out of Compton.
It's true.
I'm straight out of Compton. I'm straight out of Compton.
CPT.
CPT. Don't tell me I know all of the NWA Warren.
Yes. CPT, baby.
Trust me, I know who they are.
I know what the Yay area.
Yes.
Sprinkle me, man. Sprinkle me.
Put on a good show.
I'm a huge West Coast music fan. Huge. 90s, 2000s, like all a big Nipsey fan, big everything. I've been to California about 5 or 6 times. Last time I went, it was the only good thing about the pandemic is it was not a whole lot of traffic. So I was out there at LAX for a little bit.
Shout out to Antonio.
Yes, drove all the way up to the Los Trejos outlets, up that way. So that lets y'all know I was all up there, and then down to Huntington Beach and PCH and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'll come out there and support y'all's halftime shows. I didn't know they were lit like that.
Yeah, no, we throw a good party. We also Cap, I think you were part of this, but it's the first time we ever did it in Allegiant, where Hollywood and the Black Hole and all the Raider groups, they did a whole TNBC Las Vegas, they did a whole marching band parade with UNLV, right, Cap? That was pretty awesome.
Hold on. Excuse me. Who is this clown in the comments that said Mike Thura? Why are we listening for this Panther shit? Time to move on, dude. First of all, I don't know who your team is, but we clearly are not.
No, he's a Raider.
We won, Negro. We won, brother. We won, whatever. So it's not time to move on. So we say we move on.
Mike, first off, Mike Sarah is as far from a Negro as possible. Okay?
No, that doesn't matter. So to me, when I say Negro,
I'm just Sonia. Because I know Mike Sarah. Okay, Mike. Here's the thing. We will have, and I'm gonna let people come in and comment. Okay. Like probably the second half of the show, because I wanted to make sure that I had you ladies in here to chirp, because you deserve to chirp, and I will do this pretty much every Tuesday after the game that I can from now on. Okay, Mike, don't be saying it, but Mike, this is the way it's going to be. Because I'm going to let everybody know. If I don't have fans from the other team come on, it's going to be nonstop, which is fine. But I did have the ladies. I invited the ladies on. I invited the ladies on because you know what? They can chirp because we played like shit, and the ladies never stopped being positive. Now I will say this though. If you had asked any Panther fan, and Sonia said it a little bit, if you had asked any Panther fan, had they really thought they were going to win, all of them would say to a T, as soon as Dalton was announced, because I said the same thing, as soon as Dalton was announced, the game became oh hell, don't look past this team. If Dalton did not play, Cap. If Dalton did not play, it would have been a royal decimation for Bryce Young and the Panthers, in my estimation.
Exactly. He might have unpacked and left his stuff in Vegas. You know, they say whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and he might would have stayed in Vegas after that loss, because
Yeah.
So
and just I mean, this is how it works, right? Like like all respect to the ladies tonight, obviously, Cap, because they won. Like, we don't get to talk shit to the team that beat us.
Thank
Like,
you
that's
guys.
that's just how it works, man. Like, we're I mean, a lot of people's gonna go ahead and
we're being respectful. We are being respectful.
You
this
are.
Mike Sarah dude
They
is
are.
coming on to being straight nasty, and you don't know me, so you know. But I can give you an invite to the show so you can tell me who you are.
Right. And come on the show, Sergeant.
I'm gonna do that now.
He ain't even got a face. Anybody can comment with type.
Right. Hey, let me give a shout out to Antonio.
No, I'm doing that now.
Look, man.
I'm doing that now. If anybody, if
to see you.
Oh, look.
If you want to come in.
National Streaming Sports just put that link out there for him, honey.
There you go, National Streaming
Sports. I did put the link out. I did put the link out.
After 10 o'clock, but I want this Mike Sarah to come on here with this link before I jump off, because I got to do some studying. But I want him to come on. I want to see him face to face.
Well, Sonia, because I know Mike Sarah, again, I know my audience, okay?
Oh, it's going to be bad,
Mike Sarah, No. Listen, please. Okay. I'm trying to be calm and above all, okay, and be fair. Mike Sarah is one of my people that stays in the comments and has only once or twice at most, it was a couple years ago, come on camera. So I know my people that are on camera, and I know the people that are in the comment. Okay. So if you can screech at him, but it most likely won't happen, because Mike Sarah also is one of those folks that works out all the friggin' time. So he's very busy, and he almost never comes in virtual via thing. So again, I know you're egging him on.
No,
but
I
it's
just
not
want to
going
see
to
who
happen.
he is, because he's talking this. Listen, no, I'm not egging him on. I'm just like, hey, you know, if you want to talk, let's talk. No need, you know, being disrespectful, because he's dropping F-bombs and all this stuff.
He does it via the comments. Now, Sharif, on the other hand, will come in. Sharif will come in on video. Okay.
James Mary is giving everybody shout outs about looking handsome.
Here you go. Here you go.
Who was that? Who was that?
Wait a second. You wanted him. You got it.
What's up? Girl, that's Mike Sarah.
That's Mike Sarah.
Mike Sarah. What's going on, Mike?
Talk some junk about our team. Go ahead.
Hey. And as you can see, he is not a Negro.
Well,
he said, come in here, Negro. No, he's not a Negro.
I said, or brother. Like, it's a universal phrase for me.
First of all, don't.
I'm just saying.
We don't need to get racial and all this shit. That's not right. I don't believe in that stuff. So, I'm here. I'm walking. And hey, you guys played a great game.
He's working out.
Okay, you guys kicked our ass, and hey, you know what? More power to you. I'm just ready to move on to the next game. That's all I'm saying. Because we got bigger problems in Raiderland than you guys have right now.
He ain't hear you, Pink. She said, what?
Can we just relish in this game, because we were invited on this show by the Cap to talk about.
Hey, you can relish all you want. I love it, man. You guys kicked our butts. You kicked our butts. Hey, I'm not taking anything away from you.
We appreciate you, Mike. I'm glad you came on. I know you're super busy. It's all in fun. It's all in fun.
And as I said, Mike is a fitness person that's either working out or walking like he is. That's why I always tell him to run an extra mile or walk an extra mile for me, because this fat ass needs to do it and won't. So I'm just saying, I know my peeps on you, like you know your peeps on your channel. I like to make sure that you understand what's going on.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. I knew when they said Andy Dalton was starting, I knew we were in trouble. I knew it. He has been a thorn in the Raiders' side every time we play this guy. Every time. And yes, he was on that team. He was on the. He was on the Saints team when they beat us 27-0, and we never crossed the 50-yard line. He was the starting quarterback for him too.
Raider Man 81 said, "Let them enjoy what might be their only win." Okay.
Hey, you know what? I hope you guys win the rest of your games. I would love to see it.
Yeah, no, I want you guys to win the rest of the year. Are you kidding me? I want you to beat the Chiefs. I want you to beat
the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. You beat the Chiefs in the Super
I
Bowl. I will forever be this good.
Okay, guess what? Sonya, Pink Fanfare. I don't know how she's gonna get in, but I've got to go. It's after 10:15. I gotta study. I wanted to meet Mike. Mike, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys being on. I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I just wanted to move on from the game.
Because
I'm pissed off about the game.
No.
It was a bad game for us.
Let me just
not pissed at you, pissed at us.
Yeah, Pink will tell you. I just talk junk. I'm just all about fun. I'm not, hey, I'm gonna beat somebody up. I'm just like, oh, come on. It's just all in fun. So, that's just how I roll. Pink, what you gonna do about being able to be on this show?
I'm gonna jump in the comments from the phone. That's my only option at this point.
Captain, I need to have you and Mike if you'd like to come. And Raider Transplant, you guys know how to reach. Captain knows how to reach me. I'd love to have you guys come on my show, Prim and Proper Sports. I sit down and talk to fans and NFL players alike. So, you guys just let me know. I film at 9 on tomorrow and Friday as well. So, just let me know, y'all.
Can you do that again? I'm gonna give you a solo shot. Can you do the promo again for your show?
Oh, sure. So, oh wow. All right. So I'm Sonya Pearson, host of Prim and Proper Sports. I film Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also film 9 p.m. Fridays Eastern Standard Time, and even tonight, Tuesday, even though I'm going to go ahead and give divulgence to this show, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I speak with NFL players and super fans and fans alike. Would love to have you come on the show. No matter what sport you like, I talk about everything from hockey to tennis and, of course, NFL. So please tune in Prim and Proper Sports. Subscribe on YouTube just by looking for Prim and Proper Sports. And I'm on Roku, Fire TV, Instagram, Facebook, and all the socials.
All right, there you go, y'all. There you go. You never talk boxing, Sonya?
I do talk boxing.
Do you? Because that's my jam, Sonya.
Frank Lotiero on my show a few times. Jack Hurst, also the Glove Fist. They've been on a few times. Yeah, check out some of my old episodes. They're on there.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Pink Fan say what she got to say before I hop off.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say Sandra does a really great show, so we would love to have all of you guys on there. Cap's been on there several times. Matt Cat has been on there several times. We had Dallas Cowboy Angel on there last week. I've been on there. There's quite a few celebrities on there. And I love doing all her reels and promos.
She's awesome with that.
So learning so much with that, and it's just very exciting. Didn't realize that doing these shows were so fun. So I appreciate you guys for inviting me and Sandra on here tonight.
Yes, definitely fun. You lose track of time. Like I could be on here to midnight and wouldn't have nothing done, and we still kicking and having fun. And hi, Earlene, my sister. I'm tuning in from VA. So of course I've shared this stream everywhere. So people will be coming on in throughout the night.
Well, as long as we have participation, and hopefully it's more than just me and Angelo on here, because I have to fight to get in words when Angelo's on here, but you laugh, it's true. But no, hopefully we get a lot of folks in. But I want to do thank the ladies for coming in, and I see that you shared the broadcast. So folks, if you want to come in and talk sports while you're here, even when Sonya, the lawyer in training, goes back to studying. And Pink Fanfare, I'm sorry that the communication link was not working, but I'm glad that you finally got in, at least audio-wise, because I did want to hear from, because all I heard was, we got the dub, we got the dub, we got the dub. I said, well, I want to hear from you. And
You're welcome, girl. I got you.
There. And I can answer the question. The ladies did have a good time.
We had a great time.
Great time. I got to join you guys. Hopefully the next time the Raiders play the Panthers. You've been telling me for years, Captain, even before I met Pink. So you've been telling me, because a lot of people don't realize I met you back in 2016 in Canton at the enshrinement of Tony Dungy. You and I have known each other for a long time, and here we are again. Like, those years really fly by. So it's been an honor to be here tonight. Very grateful. Thank you to Pink Fanfare for letting me know, because I was like, hey, I don't got no link. And she was like, oh, bam, here you go. Because I was like, I'm going to be studying, so I'll get with Captain later. She was like, oh, no, ma'am, here you go. So I was like, oh, and I got to throw a jersey on and jump on here. No makeup. So forget the look. But I tried to get in here and get in tonight.
You look great, Sonia.
I was just say you look awesome on accident when other people try to look awesome on purpose. So I don't want to hear anything about makeup. This is the scary. This is the scary. Okay.
Pink, any closing comments? Pink, I got you on speaker.
Well, no, I think I'm probably going to jump off here too, but I wanted to thank you guys again, Captain Jack, having us on, and good to see you again, Raider Transplant. It was so good to see all of the super fans in the comments. Shout out to Antonio Strong, my Army Strong and high school battle buddy. We got Mad Catter in the house in the chat representing the Carolina Super Fans United.
And shout out to God for that testimony by Raider Transplant, because you just never know. You come on for one thing and it's a whole nother vibe. So I'm in honor, and I really legit mean that I'd love for you all to come on my show. Anybody on here. And I mean, this chat is lit. You got like over 60 comments, Captain. Like, wow, and wow. So shout out to you both. Have a great night. And Pink and I will rejoin you guys soon.
Thank you, ladies.
You're always invited. You're always invited. So, ladies, thanks again. If you pop out, I understand. Thanks again for being here. Y'all take care. And but I'm going to get with Antonio Strong. Now I'm putting his comment up. Okay, Antonio, I'm going to say it so that you understand this as well. There's only one fucking nation. One. There's no such thing as Steeler Nation. There's no such thing as Steeler Nation. I don't want to hear about it. Okay? I get it that you're a Steeler fan. It's Steeler country.
Okay.
You're in Steeler country. That's it. But I appreciate you coming in. Big ups to you as well. Thank you. But buddy, I gotta draw the line at Steeler Nation. And I appreciate you being here. Okay? So please, I know it's gonna fall upon deaf ears, but there's only one nation. And thank you for coming in, Antonio. And yeah, actually, Raider man, technically, there is another nation that has priority on saying that. It's baseball. It's Red Sox Nation, dating back to the 1900s, like 1917, 1918. There is a brick outside of Fenway Park that says Red Sox Nation. That's the only team that can say they started it and that we used it, which is bullshit, but because we've been the nation and everybody hopped on the nation thing, okay? But for historical purposes, I want to make sure, because again, I'm a historian and I want things to be said correctly. There isn't any other nation in any sport, really, unless you say Red Sox Nation, and they don't use it. Okay, Andrew, he had to mess with it. Okay. Hey, being a Steelers fan, that Steelers-Raiders game, I have no clue. And normally, I would be there in about 2 or 3 weeks, but I will be working. Lucas, shut up, Panther Nation. I got screw you. Right? There's only one nation. I see on Instagram, Bolt Brothers podcast is over there on Instagram. Remember, anybody can come in to the show, and you can come in and voice your likes and your dislikes and all the things like that. I'm going to put the link up over on Instagram, although I know that on Instagram, you can't. You're going to have to come in by yourself. Robert was about Oh, okay. Rob Bigler, thank you for that. Again, prayers up to your friend. And again, as you see, Robert, you see his avatar. He's a friggin' Chiefs fan. I'm saying things like that. But again, blessings. Robert Big, this is open for everybody. This is for everybody, okay? I will talk sports with whoever. I met Robert on an airline flight, and we've been buddies. And by the way, his aunt makes the best chocolate chip cookies I've ever eaten. Okay, so that's one thing that I definitely want to say. Sir Rocker, okay, sure, Sir Rocker. The link is right here because the Vikings are 3-0.
Hey, just so that you know, Sir
The Vikings
Rocker,
are 3-0.
I play fantasy football, and I got both Aaron Jones and Justin Jefferson on my team. So thank you for another win. That was great.
Yeah, hopefully it came.
Yeah,
hopefully you got it, Sir Rocker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jack
and Kenna, 2 hour on Wild Wild West. Yeah, hey, I won't be on Wild Wild West because tomorrow, NFL Nation Live, I will be on at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific, NFL Nation Live. So again, make sure you're watching that.
Cap,
go ahead, Ange.
Announcement? I may, if you're all right with it, at 9:30 tomorrow night, Pacific time, but obviously you're already sleeping because it's like past midnight Eastern time on the Captain Jack Rackham channel. We might have a show with Papa Rundown and Big Daddy Jose Delgado to talk Raiders and boxing. So it might be a full slate tomorrow night or tomorrow from 3 p.m. all the way through on the Captain Jack Rackham channel, guys.
Well, hey, I'm not gonna say anybody can there's content, and with you and Big Daddy talking boxing and Raiders, that's great as well. But again, everybody can come in. I put the link up. So if you want to come in, please do. Yeah, Rocker. Yeah, I was gonna say 3-0 Vikings. Oh, by the way, did you see the AI press conference? And I say AI, it's the AI press conference with Kirk Cousins bitching about the officiating against the Chiefs. It was hilarious. It was a Kirk Cousins after game press conference with voiceovers that was, I guess, close to or however they do it, but it's his voice talking about, well, of course, if my name isn't Pat Mahomes, and if you saw them mug our what do you call it? If you saw them kicking or interfering with our guy, you knew that the referees, it's hard to play. And I've said this just like a Raider fan. It's hard to be a Raider fan when you're playing the officials and a team in front of you. That's it. Hey, thanks, Raider man. Yeah, hey, I can talk that. Go Phillies. But they got their ass kicked tonight. I stopped watching at 10-2. Doesn't matter, though. It just, as long as the Phillies can win a bye and they have the season series against the Dodgers, it doesn't matter, though, because the Phillies last year and the year before that beat the Braves easily. And they should have went to the series last year, and they went earlier, 2 years ago. So it doesn't matter. It's what you do in the playoffs. So a little bit of baseball, Again, if you are oving, Ayo Chachi, now we have matching hats. So when Angelo is on the channel, I got to try to keep this here so we can have the matching hats. Okay.
Yeah, Captain Jack got me this, and if you guys see the pin, got me the pin.
Oh yeah,
too.
You put the pin on it. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well,
yes, sir.
That's for all of the because. And by the way, if you have not been to China Mama, in Vegas, you got to go there. You got to go there. Yeah, I like it. And I saw another one, and Angela saw the other one. I like the Script Raiders. I think I might get that next week.
That's what I was thinking about that too, Cap. Like when you were looking at it, you said you'll get it next time. So I guess we're going back.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Kiwi says hello. I saw Kiwi on the way out. Of the game, because I stayed all the way through. I know you left early, Cap, but I was there all the way till they were kicking me out. So
yeah, no, I left.
And you didn't talk about this, so Jack Kenna was bringing it up. AP put JPJ at right guard versus left guard, head scratcher. So first off, Jack Kenna, I was actually there. I also saw JPJ do center. He snapped the ball to Aiden O'Connell throughout the sideline, so I kept watching it. I filmed a couple of things, took some pictures of it, and I got to tell you, Cap, JPJ, man, he looks really good, and I know we got to stick with what we got, but the future to me looks pretty bright, and it's just a question of how soon do we want to let that kid be the center? Because I get that he can play right guard, left guard, whatever, but man, he looked good.
That's the problem, though. Okay, because if you put him at center, then you need another guard. If you put him at guard, you still need a center. And I think that right today, this year, okay, he would be best on this line right now at guard, because our guards are not the greatest. So he needs to be a guard on this line. But eventually he's going to move over to center. And I see Raider Man is saying that he needs to be center. Yeah, James is awful, but he can't play two positions. He can't snap the ball and be a center and a left guard, or a center and a right guard, and they can pull it. And remember, they got to have so many people on the line of scrimmage. I'm being facetious. He's not big enough to play both positions. So he needs to be able to do something. And I think he'll be center next year, because they signed, and what a waste of money that was, signing James. Okay, and I agree with Ed Winchell. We need to get an effing guard. And also for Ayo Chachi. So what are we expecting next game from the Boo Boo Browns? I'll be honest. I don't have a clue. I don't know, because I've seen the embarrassment. And at least when you go back to the first game, okay, they gave the game away to the Chargers. They gave it away. That was a shoulda, coulda, oh my God, it was really our win to get game. And then I saw last week, I was in Baltimore, and they played the game, and they never let it get out from everything, and it came back and beat the Ravens. And then they played yesterday, and they played like ass. They actually have to improve to say that they played like ass. Okay. So I don't know. And Bigler, who is a Chiefs fan, I want to see this. They're favoring the Chiefs with the. Hey, Biggs, here's a fucking clue. The Chiefs get all the calls anyway. So what's to have another favoritism go towards the Kansas City Chiefs? Okay, just saying. It's horrible. Again, I didn't see the first. Well, yeah, I did see the first game where the Ravens woulda, coulda, shoulda beaten them, and then I saw the Bengals woulda, coulda, shoulda beaten them. The Chiefs got some calls there, and I'm not talking about the last call, which was a legitimate pass interference over the back. I saw that. Okay, that was a real call, but they got other calls. And then when you get a call against the Chiefs defensive back, which absolutely mugs, molests, and did everything but take his junk out, of his pants and show it to everybody. Okay. Now, the Chiefs got that, and that's not pass interference. Bullshit. It was. So the Chiefs get all the calls. I'm saying it. And you see it too. And so does everybody else. So let's see here. As soon as I saw the Panthers keep like it open, I saw 11-point lead. Yeah. And again, Chachi, I can't say what I'm gonna see next week. I don't know. And I'll be honest. I am just hoping that the Raiders win 7 games this year. That's my goal, is for the Raiders to win 7 games this year. This way I make some money in Vegas. Because if they don't win 7 games this year, then the Raiders have played for nothing, and I lose every bet that I put into Vegas. And I'm being honest, that's selfish of me, but here the thing is, I don't know. The Raiders might come out next, maybe if they play every other game well. So maybe they'll play the Browns well, but the Browns are 1-2 as well, and they're asking for a win. So, yeah, I was gonna say they're angling for the 3-peat. Oh, thank you. Thank you, at least Robert Bigler. And Robert is cool in the fact that he is actually somewhat unbiased. He's a good fan that knows when they're getting some good shit. Anyway, but I didn't see all of the game, Rob. So there's the one that you're talking about. I don't know, but trust me, the Chiefs get more than their fair share of calls. The Chiefs get more than their fair share of calls. So if you're going to bitch about, well, they shouldn't have had this and that, if you look at it unbiased, you will see that the Chiefs get 2-1, the 3-1 calls their way in favor. I'm just saying. Anyway, thank you for that. Get that money. Yeah, I know, Chachi. I was going to say, give me 7 wins. That's all I want out of this year. And by the way, folks, I've already done the draft board for next year. And no, they don't need a quarterback in the first round. They can get a good quarterback in the second round and after. Why? Because I don't see, as of right now, and I might be wrong, I don't see a monumental quarterback in this draft. I don't. If you want to wait a year, Arch Manning might be that 2 drafts later, unless he declares. And then you're banking on his potential after not really seeing a lot of him in college. Now, the kid that he's behind, what's his name, at Texas, is a decent quarterback. I don't want to hear shit about Shedeur Sanders. He doesn't excite me.
Okay.
Cam Ward, I think, will be a better quarterback. I think Cam Ward will be a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders. Okay. And yeah, I agree with Ed Winchell. We need a quarterback in any round. Yeah, the best player available, if there's a quarterback that's out there that's good, that'd be a good thing. I don't want Shedeur Sanders in the first round. I don't want Shedeur Sanders. But like I said, if Cam Ward is there, I'd take Cam Ward. Viewers, thank you there, Chachi. If you're banking on Arch Manning and Clinton Ewers is there, okay, yeah, I'd take a flyer on Clinton Ewers. Yeah, because he's at least shown. And again, it's this thing, and I already said it before to all the people that were there. There are plenty of people that played quarterback and were Heisman Trophy winners or were winners, period, in college that flamed out and were busts in the NFL. Okay? Sam Bradford is a multimillionaire. A multimillionaire for getting the right contracts at the right time. He's a multimillionaire. I know Manning ain't coming out next year, Ed. I get it, because Clinton Ewers will. But Clinton Ewers and Cam Ward from what I've seen so far, are the best quarterbacks in college. So if the Raiders get a chance to draft one, I would. I wouldn't put a lot of stock in Jador Sanders. Uh-oh. Angelo, are you there? No, Angelo's not sleeping. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Ed Winchell said you're sleeping.
Anna Diaz had asked if I'd gone to the game, so I guess she didn't hear the beginning when we were talking to Sanjo about it. So I was just messaging her that I was at the game. So I just messaged you, Anna Diaz, just so that you know on Facebook.
Yeah, I like Carson Beck. I apologize. I like Carson Beck. I think that Carson Beck will be a really good quarterback. Jalen Milroe, to me, and I don't know what his physical traits are in comparison to Bryce Young, but to me, it's like a Bryce Young 2.0. He can run, he can pass, but I don't know. Somebody can tell me what his physical traits are. I don't know if he's big enough.
Can I just throw this one out at you though? Because
sure.
I mean, again, and maybe it's because I'm an Aiden O'Connell guy, but we see Sam Darnold, who is younger than Joe Burrow, I think, or he's pretty young. Like Sam Darnold isn't even that old, but he's doing well now because he got time to learn and develop, right? And then Jared Goff is another story of give him time to learn and develop, put him in the right system, and then you just saw the Red Rifle smack us. And I think whoever's in the chat that believes that they're not going to win a lot, I think you guys are wrong. I think Carolina in the next 5 games will win at least 3. They're going to beat the Broncos for sure. They're going to beat the Broncos, and then you might be surprised next week that Cincinnati might be on a slide. They're 0-3 now. They could easily become 0-4 next week. So against Carolina. So I don't know, but when you're talking about the draft for next year, remember how I kept saying I wanted Fuaga? And just for the record, Cap, Fuaga is doing amazing in New Orleans Saints right now. He's the reason why Derek Carr's getting a chance to throw. If you watch all of his left tackle, he's a left tackle. He was a right tackle in college. He's playing left tackle right now, giving tons of touchdowns to Kamara, giving lots of time to Derek Carr. And again, I'm not saying I don't like Brock Bowers. So chat, don't attack me. Of course I like Brock Bowers. I'm not saying that. I am, though, however, saying that I kept telling everybody we needed O-line. That's what we need. So why not just stick to that plan, Cap? Let's
wait a second. Wait a second. We picked up O-line in the last draft. We picked up JPJ at guard. Wait a second. Let me finish. Can I finish? I'm going to sound like that damn guy from Texas. Can I finish? JPJ should be playing guard or center this year, guard, okay? And Glaze played well at right tackle. In fact, he played better than Mumford, who went out with an injury. And by the way,
I saw that.
Right. And by the way, Mumford would probably play better at left tackle than Colton Miller is now.
Well, not now, Cap. He's pretty injured. I don't know how bad the injury is yet, but Mumford would probably play better than Colton Miller, and he does play better at left during the times when we've seen him. Andres Pete, Andres Pete would have been a great person to have about 6 years ago. Yeah, I agree.
But and thanks, Biggs, for telling me that Miller at 6'2", 220, baby. And
talking about
don't ever say
Alabama,
like
right?
Yeah. I tell you what, Ed Winchell, do not ever fucking call me that person's name. Never. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Don't put it up, Angelo. Do not put it up. Don't ever call me that person's name. Just saying. And I agree with Mike Sarah. DJ Glazed played well. Oh, good. We're gonna have some people on.
Here we go. Alpha Kasi, Australia in the house, y'all.
What's going on, gang? Jack, Transplant, everybody in the chat.
Good to see you.
Go. So
That's how you doing,
before,
but I don't know
before
about
you
guys.
go,
I'm still feeling pretty salty about the loss, right?
Yeah. That's what we're talking about. So just so that you're caught up, Alpha because I don't think you knew. In the beginning, I talked about it. I was surprised by my wife last minute, and this wonderful family let me sit with them. I was in the 50-yard line, row 7, Champions Club level, watching the opening game on Sunday. And for me, I put out some private messages. I'll send you one too. I didn't put it out publicly, but I did a video at the end where I was saying, yes, we're upset about this loss, but this wasn't life or death, man. And I literally was gonna die. I was dying 2 years ago, dude. 2 years later, I'm in a Raider game and getting a chance to experience that. So not the end of the world, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and try to say the sky is falling, because I believe we're gonna beat the Browns. We're gonna beat the brick out of those Browns. And hopefully it could be blacked out, because
Hope so.
This Sunday's game had a lot of Raiders, man. So I've been to 2 Allegiant games now, and the 63,000 that I saw against the Chargers on 2022, and then my first game back after transplant, it was blacked out too. So one of the positives I'm going to talk about is the fans and the nation all showed up, bro. It would have been one of those experiences, Alpha Kasi, that you would have loved, with everybody pumped up. Now, the result, I'll let you go ahead and talk about the result. It wasn't great, but whatever.
Is there really much more that needs to be said? I mean, I've already gotten on my soapbox for my own life, but look, we can all agree it was a performance that just very, I don't know, like some of these cats need to look themselves in the mirror and take some pride in the jersey, because that just wasn't good enough. It was to lose like that to the literal worst team in the league up until last week, and to do it in front of, like, that was almost, I mean, apart from the Ravens game back in 2021, our home opener then, like, I can't remember a game that had been more blacked out than that one. You know what I'm saying?
The Chargers one. The Chargers in 2022.
I said that.
I was there for that one.
That was
like
right. The Chargers one as well. That one is another one. But yeah, look, like, it's just, it wasn't good enough across the board. And, you know, this week needs to be better. Like, they need to bring back that, you know, we've been preaching that going back to the Raider way mentality. Well, then let's see it. You know what I mean? Like, show that desire and pride in the jersey, to don the silver, black, and or white, and put on a better performance this week. And hopefully we can get a win and get our season back on track.
I mean, but how are you? Like right now, I know I could hear it in your voice, Hafakasi. You feel beaten, but how confident are you about this Sunday? Because I'm feeling pretty good about it. I listened to Max Crosby. I listened to Devontae Adams. I feel like we're gonna have a big comeback victory, and the only thing I'm going to be sad about is I keep hearing that the Browns fans, I guess, travel, so the tickets are so high that they said that there's going to be a lot more Browns fans there than the Raider fans. So I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, the Browns travel well.
Right. Look, I'm 50-50 if I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, look, I'm always going to stand with this team. Win, lose, or tie, it's Red Nation till I die. It's not just a saying for me, it's a way of life. Last week was a kick in the nuts, and I hope we don't get a repeat of it this week. Yeah, we're in week 4, and we're already at another point where we're at a crossroad, and we need a gut check win. You know what I mean? Like, we needed that week 2, and now we need that week 4. You know what I'm saying? Not ideal, but at the end of the day, if we can get a win after 4 weeks, 2-2, when you look at it, isn't so bad. But let's get there first, 1 week at a time. We can't look past the Browns. Let's do this. Get the season back on track.
Now, I was going to say, Alfakasi, and you could relate because you were a Muay Thai fighter and you'd been in the squared circle. So in watching it that close, bro, and I can see, like, I'm reading the body languages of the players and everything. I honestly believe that the players were fighting hard, but there were a lot of residuals of being tired from the Baltimore game, and you could kind of see it, but they were like, it's like they're trying to get their attitude up. So people making business decisions, I didn't exactly know who they're talking about. I was thinking maybe it was
Jack Jones.
Well,
Jack
Cap,
Jones.
I'm just saying from what I saw personally, there was a certain run play that Trey Tucker needed to block someone on, and he didn't do that. So I felt like, okay, man, maybe he's talking about Trey Tucker making a business decision. But overall, there was fight during the game. Like it wasn't. I know that it feels like, or it's being said like that they weren't trying, but you know, I felt like Luke Masterson was trying. Like people were trying. They were giving what they had, but then as the game progressed, you know, it's hard to even fight against your own kind of unconfidence when you're behind by so far. But there was some fight there all the way up until, I would say, that interception that Gardner Minshew threw. And then at that point, I think it was smart that AP put Aiden O'Connell and JPJ and gave us a little bit of life. We got that touchdown with Trey Tucker. That drive looked good. I know a lot of people, Alfakasi, are going to say, well, that was garbage time minutes. But again, I'm speaking from my own personal, I'm staring at them viewpoint. I thought they were trying really hard. Like they were actually giving solid effort, which should be commended. We did score a touchdown. And I feel like maybe ending the game in that manner helps the locker room in that they are going to move forward. Because even the way Max Crosby talked about it on his show today, he was like, no, everybody's going to act like the sky's falling, and it's not. And, you know, I'm not 100%. I'm banged up, but I'm going to go out there. That's just the way I roll. And Devontae Adams said the same thing. Like, hey, you know, he said they asked them if they wanted to make a quarterback change. And Devontae Adams said, no, I want us to stick with Minshew. And he described it as, you don't want your girlfriend feeling like she's not good enough, you know? And so my opinion is Gardner Minshew is a certain style of fighter, Alfakasi. We have to allow him to fight that way. And the playbook, the way it looks, bro, is it looks like a playbook that's more designed for Aiden O'Connell style. So if we're going to do Gardner Minshew style, we got to let the guy roll out and throw. We got to do some spread offenses. We got to do some trips. We got to let him. Remember that movie, the other guys, Captain Jack, with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, where they kept saying, you got to let Gardner Minshew be a peacock, man. You got to let him fly. Let Guard Dog fly, Alfakasi. With that's my take on it. So that's why I believe we're going to do that, and we're going to beat the Browns, and we're going to win by a lot. But go ahead.
Look, I'm not gonna.
I mean, go ahead. Go ahead. No. Go ahead, AK.
Joshua, go.
No, well, I'm going to say, and I'm going to try to keep it short. Then I want you to come in right after it. Okay. I still don't know what this team has with intestinal fortitude. I'm not saying that they give up, but I still want to see that, you know, I want to see like what they played like last week. I want to see them get inspired and come back from 10 points down twice, because they look like that when they were down 14 at half, and they didn't do anything in the second half, you know, the second half first series, it was like they knew that this was an insurmountable lead. And I don't want to see that. I want to see that. But I don't know. And again, I still think that the offensive line needs to go from zone blocking to power blocking. We need to get Glaze in there and JPJ in there, and then we still need another body. Okay, and that's it. So we'll see what we got. But again, I don't know if I don't know what we got. AK, go ahead, brother.
Well, you switched the focus to the offensive line. I mean, it's very unsettling when we're looking at our first-year guys, our rookies, to come in immediately and be all of a sudden the saviors of our offensive line woes. You know what I mean? Like, I like both those guys, and I think, like, especially with we haven't seen JPJ much. I don't know if he took the field last week, but DJ Glaze has proven to be like his development has been better than I expected in the small body of work that I've seen from him. But at the same time, like, are we expecting these two to come in immediately, right from the jump, and all of a sudden our offensive line is going to be all this and all that? Like, maybe it might be better, I don't know, but it's not the ideal scenario. Like this, I have confidence in those two guys to be good players in their own right down the line. But if we're trying to convince ourselves that, like, if we put these two guys in straight away, our offensive line is going to click like that immediately. Like, I think that's a little bit unfair expectation, but I guess at the moment we don't have much to lose, being that the offensive line player has not been good enough. Like, we've given up 12 sacks in 3 weeks, and we're run blocking. What run blocking? We're getting nada. You know what I'm saying?
There is no run blocking.
Like,
no.
There is no run blocking. But at the same time, like, I feared at the start of the year, this running back room to me, what has looked, and for me, like, my gut was telling me, the weakest it has looked since I've been a fan. You go back 20 years in the past, and every year we had a guy we could be confident that had been productive. Look at our last few running backs: Josh Jacobs, Marshall Lynch. Granted, he wasn't the guy he was in Seattle, but he's still, you know, we had confidence in him to be the guy at times. Latavius Murray was good enough. Darren McFadden before him, Marcel Reese, Justin Fargas, you know what I'm saying? Like, we always had someone there, Michael Bush. Like, this running back room is the weakest it's looked in a long time. And I feared that at the start of the year. I was like, all right, well, look, at least Samir White had shown some things in that 4-game stretch at the last quarter of the game. So I'm going to give him a chance. But it just seems glaringly obvious, like, none of these cats are the type of running back that's going to make a play if we're getting nothing from our offensive line. You know, we're averaging what, 3.1 yards per carry? That is not good enough.
The offensive line last year wasn't zone blocking.
Look, I don't care.
They weren't zone blocking.
Zone block, Antarctica block, friggin' Australian block.
No. It does make a difference. It does make a difference because Zeus has been playing behind a power blocking scheme since Georgia. Okay, the zone blocking scheme, that is a run and cut, and that's not Zeus. Zeus runs behind people, and by the way, he runs up their back too quick. Okay, you need to push. You need to be able to push guys forward, because if you're going to run a zone blocking scheme, then you got the wrong running back in there, and that's Madison should be the running back if you're going to run this scheme. Okay, Zeus is a horse that takes the ball and run. Behind this offensive line, you need to see more of Madison, who, by the way, scored that only touchdown against the Chargers and played well in everything that I've seen him. I didn't see him enough.
The only one that scored a touchdown
the other day.
Well, look, Madison, I like more than those other guys, except for Dylan Lobby. Like, I like as a prospect, but it's glaringly obvious he needs time. You know what I mean? He's not ready yet, and I'm willing to give him that. Madison, I do like more than those other guys, but even he's not lighting the house on fire. He's averaging 3 yards per carry. That's not good enough either. But if we're talking about the best of the bunch, to me, yeah, you're right. I probably have more confidence in Madison, but it's to my point, this running back room, none of these guys are playmakers. None of these guys are going to make a play if they're stuck in the backfield and they're not getting help from the offensive line. And it's not good enough. 3 whatever yards per carry. I think we're dead last in the league when it comes to rushing. That is not good enough.
I think some of the business decisions that AP talked about too, he might have been talking about Getsy, man. He might have, or maybe not Getsy, but like Cody Whitehair was brought in, I believe, because of Luke Getsy. But Cody Whitehair is also the guy who got benched, for an entire half where AP put Andrew Speed in, and then Cody Whitehair didn't look that great again this time around. I think it's high time we kind of make some change. We just do it right now. Mumford is hurt. Colton Miller isn't really 100%. Parham, to me, again, looking at it from my seats, Parham looked good. Glaze looked pretty all right. I mean, I think if you let Glaze practice with the starters, he'll look way better. But he looked all right for filling in. And then I thought, let's put JPJ in there, baby. And sure, Cap, if you want to put him at guard, that's fine. But how about we have Colton Miller, JPJ, James, Parham, and Glaze this week, and then let's go ahead and just power it in. These are some big boys.
How long? And I wouldn't mind that. Let's see what they can do. Kick the tires on them. All I said before was like, I'm not going to put the weight of expectation on JPJ and Glaze to automatically solve our problems immediately. Like if we put them in and they're not doing so well, I can accept that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not happy with it, but at least with rookies, we especially on the offensive line, we got to give them time to develop. Speaking of Thayer Mumford, does anyone know how long he's looking to be out for?
The only thing I can tell you is I'll look it up, but the only thing I can tell you off the cost is I was right there when I saw the injury. That was in the first quarter, I believe it had happened. And then I kept watching him at the sideline. I was taking pictures when he was I was that close where I could see it, and he was limping pretty bad, bro. And then when he came out, he was wearing that brace. And then I recorded him a little bit, and I was like, I don't think this looks good. I think that I'm going to look it up on how bad it is, but I almost want to see him become our future left tackle because I think he'll be better at that. And I don't want to further injure him if it's that bad. I'd rather.
I got you. Maybe well, at least we've kind of got a contingency plan. I made this point before. We need to start preparing for life after Colton because, we don't know how much longer we've got left and we need to prepare for that. Maybe we're preparing for that with Mumford. I'm happy with his development. Glaze, he's looking decent. Maybe if we move on from Colton in the next year or two, we can slot one of those guys to hopefully be the guy at left tackle. Position we've always pretty much been blessed with for the last, since I've been a fan, we've always been blessed on that left side. It's that right side that's always been a question. But we need guys when with injury, we need guys to step up. You know what I mean? Like Marcus Epps is down. Like Polamalu, a guy, an undrafted free agent who's been pleasantly good, in spots. As a rotational guy. And that's all I asked from a UDFA to get that production from him. That for me is a big win. But now I believe he's going to get his chance. He's the next man up. So if Marcus Epps is out, he's going to get his chance to start. He's had 2 years to develop. This is his third year. We're going to see whether he's got it or he doesn't, what it takes to start and do a good enough job. And hopefully he does. But we're also looking at the defensive line. Losing Malcolm Kuntz was the start of the bad news from last week. And also Max Crosby, all-world Max Crosby just wasn't looking like that last week. But he has an excuse. I noticed he was limping around quite a bit after every play. And if he's hurt, we really need these other guys to step up. And I'm looking big time at guys like Tyree Wilson, a first-round draft investment. We really need him to start proving he's an asset because so far we haven't. He's not. It's not been good enough. I don't care what anyone says. However you want to cook it or cut it, to get the production we've gotten so far out of a 7th pick overall is just not good enough. You know what I mean? I'm not asking him to do all this and that, but he needs to prove to be an asset of some capability. And the time is now. You know what I mean? Brock Bowers, who drafted first round, that for me is the ultimate bullseye for what you want in the first round. We're not going to get that from Tyree Wilson, but we need to be getting some sort of production. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at his direction. Can you do something, Tyree, please?
So let me ask you this, because this is something that me and Severe talked about it on his channel last week on a Wednesday. And I was saying I haven't heard too many other shows talk about this, but why are we not talking about the possibility of Hassan Reddick, who clearly does not want to play for the Jets? I get that he might be a 1-year rental, but with Kuntz out, we need some help anyways, and that would help us with another edge that may want to put it's a contract kind of year for him. He wants to put in. Yep. So what do you think, Afakasi, of us just calling the Jets and saying, We'll give you Tyree Wilson if you give us Hassan Reddick and a few picks. We get picks with it too.
Well, so we're giving Tyree Wilson to the Jets.
To the Jets, who's not using Hassan Reddick anyways. And we're saying to them, give us a fourth. Let's say give us a fourth and a fifth, or a third and a sixth, or something like that. Give us a third and a seventh and Hassan Reddick, and we'll give you Tyree Wilson.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that way
the Jets will say you're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah, exactly. The Jets will say you're out of your fucking mind.
Wait a second.
Worth half that.
What's
Exactly.
a fair trade, though, Cap?
Now Hassan Reddick might be. Wait a second. You're fucking high, Angelo. I think that some of that juice for your transplant has gone to your brain, because Hassan Reddick for Tyree Wilson, maybe. And by the way, it would be the Raiders giving them draft picks for Tyree Wilson and Raiders draft picks for Hassan Reddick. Not the other way around.
I would take that in a heartbeat, but there's no way they would do that. Absolutely not.
Okay, let me put it to you this way. Okay, let me put it in this manner. Right now, the Jets are currently not able to let Hassan Reddick play because Hassan Reddick would rather lose $800,000 every time than play for the Jets. So he clearly does not want to play for them. But he's still good enough to play for someone, and they're going to have to trade him before November 5th. So you got already a cancer in the locker room that doesn't want to be there. Raiders come up to you and say, we will give you someone who was a number 7 pick for you to work on. And you guys have a defense that will let him do his thing. But we're not just going to give you a number 7 pick. You got to give us some picks back too. So how about
a number 7 pick who's done
you're high.
A number 7 pick who's
you're
done
high, Angelo. You're high.
I mean,
You're
even
high.
Trey Lance was able to get a 4.
Are you on the funny stuff today? Like, there's no way a team is going to give a marquee player, despite him being disgruntled, and bundle up draft capital to get Tyree Wilson. Like, that's just wishful thinking at its best. Like, if it was to happen, yeah, I would skip and jump to the phone and be like, yeah, whatever. Like, take him. Like, cool, we'll take all of that. Sweet.
See,
right? There's no way.
Even Raiders Rebel says Tyree had some flashes on Sunday, man.
Flashes?
Yeah.
What? Like
that's
almost fresh? Yeah. That's good enough for a first-round draft investment? I don't care.
Wow.
Like, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Woohoo! Flashes. I said what you ask is correct, in that the Raiders should reach out to the Jets for Red. I agree with that. But if you think that they're going to get him for Tyree Wilson and they're giving us picks,
wishful thinking.
Yeah, you're high, and I agree with Sharif. No. And by the way, I'm gonna mention it. They'd say, yeah, you can have Hassan Reddick if we can have Devontae Adams.
Oh, hell no. I'm not giving up Devontae Adams.
Hell yes. I
gotta go,
yes.
gang.
Oh, you gotta go?
Yeah. Take care, Transplant. Everyone in the chat, with you all. Hopefully we turn around the week.
Thanks again there, brother.
All right. Peace out, gang. Go Rays.
Got it.
Right,
thanks again there, brother. All right.
Yeah,
hey, I've already gone over 2 hours.
I know.
So
I know.
No, what I'm saying is that here's the thing. If anybody wants to come in, now's the time to do it. Because again, I can't broadcast this again anyway. Okay? I can't rebroadcast it. So if you want to come into the show, do it now. Because otherwise, I'm going to cut it, because it's already it's 10 past 11 my time. And yeah, Jay Vince was saying, yeah, for real, no one wants him.
Yeah, Rebel,
I agree with.
On. Raider Rebel, come on. Come on, Raider man.
Come in, or forever hold your peace. And yeah, Yannick Ngakoue was available, but that says enough about now. And I like Yannick Ngakoue, but look at his track record. How many teams has he been with for as long, and he's great in rushing the passer, but he can't stop the run to almost literally. The people use the term literally too much. He can't stop the run to almost literally save his life. He can rush the passer, but you want him to set the edge, ain't happening. And in Graham's defense, you got to be able to set the friggin' edge. And that's why, yeah, I get it, Sharif. Neither can Tyree. Duh. That's why Tyree needs to come in more at defensive tackle. And I don't know if he's better than Wilson at setting the edge. I don't think either one of them really can. And I'm the bit, and you guys know this. I've been the one that gave Tyree Wilson the benefit of the doubt again and again and again. But now I'm asking, you need to put up or shut up.
Well, Cap, it looks like I'm reading it now. It says it looks like Mumford has both a knee and ankle injuries. So again, I don't even know if he'll play, but I feel like the way for us to go so that we win this Sunday, give everybody a happy win for the weekend is we go JPJ and let Glaze some donuts at right tackle on Sunday, and let's just run power and gap, or let's do spread offense. I still think that fourth quarter of the Ravens, if you guys just watch that last part of the of Gardner Minshew cooking, we need to run all those plays, but for 4 quarters. If it's Minshew, if we're going to do Minshew, we should do it that way, Cap. But I don't know. Like, you're the one spending all your money, coming all the way over here, coming with your hotel. Then you're going to go into the game with your cool tickets. But Cap, man, I mean, like, don't you want to see us? I mean, I know you want to see us win, but give us a plan as to how we're going to win, Cap.
I get, and Kenna, by the way, I'm still going to say this. Carter was not taken because of the crap that happened at Georgia, the off-the-field issues, and the regime then. And it's very important that you remember who the regime was. It was McShitnuts, as Jack Kenna, you said his name is. McShitnuts was the GM or the head coach. And by the way, his GM wanted Stroud. His GM wanted Stroud. But they didn't trade up for Stroud either. Okay? And the Panthers wanted Stroud. At least other people did, but the what do you call it? The powers that be in Carolina said no, it's Bryce Young. That was a mistake too. Stroud, but if the Raiders had drafted Stroud, we'd still would be without a quarterback because he would not be the quarterback he is today. He would not be the quarterback he is today with our system, with McDaniels' system, with McShitnuts' system. Wouldn't happen.
Oh, here we go. Go ahead.
Wait, no, wait a fucking second. I'm not fucking finished yet, motherfucker. I'll let Black Thanos knows that when I give him his mic check, I'm ready to go. Okay? So anyway, Carter, and thank you for saying that, Carter was ejected. That it was because of those issues. Okay? It was because of those issues. And Tyree, I was happy about the Tyree Wilson pick. I was. It's the injuries, but the fact is that he has not come back and showed that he is that guy. That guy. I know I busted your balls, but now I'm going to use your own fucking words. Make shit nuts. And by the way, he was still our coach, and that is why I said, while he is still our coach, motherfucker's not our coach anymore. I call him McFired. He is McShitnuts. And I call him McFired now.
Can we address this one, Cap? So Raider Man 81. I actually think Wilkins has been doing the job that he was paid to do.
He has
all year. It's just, can Wilkins get some help? He was paid to do a certain job, and it wasn't to get sacks. It was to defer blocks so that Max Crosby can go get sacks, which he has done.
Right.
He's done it in the first game,
Right.
the second game, and we just got clobbered by a very expensive Panthers O-line. I don't know why people aren't talking about the fact that they literally, I'll look up the figures, but guys, they paid millions of dollars for the Panthers O-line. So last week on Captain Jack's channel, both me and Captain Jack said, now that Andy Dalton's in, I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous. It's kind of a trap game. And sure enough, look what happened. And we couldn't get past it. Part of it is because Max Crosby wasn't 100%. A lot of it is because we don't have Malcolm Kuntz, but a good amount of it is the Panthers O-line doesn't suck. Bryce Young was very happy feet, didn't really know where to throw the ball, but Andy Dalton knows how to deliver a ball. If there's one thing Andy Dalton knows how to do, like that one pass, if you paid attention to the game, the pass that he threw to the corner, I was watching it, and Andy Dalton was almost sacked by 2 Raiders. He was almost sacked by 2 Raiders, but he threw a dime to I think it was Deontay Johnson for that touchdown. So I got to give him credit, man.
It was Thielen. The Thielen with the
that was another one. Cap. That was the long ball. Yeah, no, I'm talking about the one that they actually set up. The one before that.
Okay, well, he threw a dime to Thielen right in front of me.
Yeah,
okay,
that was
literally right in front of me.
Near the end of the second quarter, Cap.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear about what time thing you were saying, but again, now, and by the way, Thanos, thanks for coming back. I was just saying, don't fucking cut me off, damn it, Angelo. I have to fight for words here as well. But now we do have Black Thanos. Oh shit.
See, you try to set him up, and it takes too long.
He'll be back. He'll be back. Okay. The next time that Black Thanos comes in, hopefully he'll be able to stay because I'm going to have him do a mic check. But Ed, wait a second.
Ed, the worst team in football is Denver.
Wait a second. If they are the worst team in football and they beat us in the transitive theory of mathematics, doesn't that make us the worst team in football? Doesn't it make us the worst team in football? Black Thanos, before you leave, give me a mic check, brother. Hopefully you can stay. Mic check. Thanos. Yeah, I guess it's... Black Thanos, I tried. Come on back in if you can, okay? Or hopefully we can get the microphone working, okay? And Kenna, I said while he's our coach, do not fucking call him McShitnuts. And afterwards I said just call him McFired. But yeah, he was a fucking wasted product. And now that there's been enough time passing, well, fuck you, Redemption. Suck my big fucking cock, Kenna. You gotta have respect for those that are coaching at the time. Okay? And I like you, Jack, but fuck you. Hopefully we can get Thanos to stay. Thanos, mic check. You here, brother?
Mic check.
There we go. How you doing?
I'm
brother?
underground.
You got the con. Yeah, I understood. Go ahead and pop off while you have time.
Okay, thank you, Cap. Shout out to the ladies you had on, the Carolinas, the Pantherettes, if you will. Yeah, Cap, it's some rough seas ahead, no pun intended. One thing I've noticed, I don't know if this is a coincidence or just a bad omen, but back in 2012, the Chargers was 5th against the run. The next year, Mr. Telesco took over for AJ Wilson, I think it was. And for the next 3 years straight, they was at the bottom in rush defense. You may say, well, he's not the DC, but he provides the personnel. With that said, Bilal Nichols, a season ago, run defense rating was 77.8. The $84 million man, Christian Wilkins, rating was 80.8. We're talking about a difference of 8 points. Now, you say, well, Wilkins had 9 sacks in a contract year, whereas prior to that, he averaged maybe 2 to 3 sacks. And he also was in a division where the Jets didn't have Aaron Rodgers, where the Patriots had a damn UPS delivery boy masquerading as quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. But it seemed like Bilal had an understanding of Graham's philosophy, and Bilal came from a defensive institution like the Chicago Bears, because nobody thinks of defense when they think of the Miami Dolphins at no time in history. Let's just be honest. And throughout Telesco's entire tenure with the Chargers, with the exception of about 2 years, they struggled mightily. I mean, I'm talking bottom 5 and bottom 6 against the run. This might be irrelevant. It might be coincidental. But just a year ago, when AP took over as the coach, we saw how we were playing against the run. Now a few pieces are no longer here. And yes, we suffered some injuries, but this is disgraceful. And speaking of run, Cap, on the other side of the ball, Zamir was only one of 2 running backs this weekend who did not face any stack box defenses. 0. By contrast, Mr. Jacobs a year ago faced the most because teams was daring Jimmy Garoppolo to throw. So this illusion and delusion that Zamir is somehow an upgrade over Josh is sheer blasphemy, as Jacobs is right now, I think, 3rd in rushing, and Zamir is not even in the top 25. So you can't have a mediocre quarterback, a bad O-line, and a marginal novelty at running back that you're experimenting with and think you're going to replace a perennial Pro Bowler who just led the league in rushing 2 years ago. We are suffering mightily for some ignorant, boneheaded decisions by Telesco, who throughout his career with the Chargers never moved back in the draft. So the Chargers never had any depth, just like we don't have any depth right now with these injuries. And he's only moved up in the draft, I believe, 3 times. And one of those times was to get Monte Teo, the infamous one, who was catfished and disgraced before the world. This is what we inherited. And Devontae Adams, in his own words, Cat, confirmed my suspicion today when he talked about Jaden Daniels. I quote Devontae. He said, we knew he was a great player. We was hoping he would slip to us. That tells me Telesco at no time made any aggressive, proactive reach for Jaden. They basically emasculated Antonio Pierce, because why would Jaden Daniel be on the sideline in that Bronco game as you were there, Cap? I think you were. And all the nation was celebrating, feeling rejuvenated. And we got the hottest quarterback prospect in the country, as AP is saying, look, this is how it is to be a Raider. He could have sat in the skybox. There's no doubt that's who AP wanted. But Telesco shot that down according to what some people are saying now, and according to what Devontae said. There was no way in the world Jaden was going to fall to us. So he was content just to get the best player available, put out Trailer Park Jesus, Minshew, and think that was a formula to set AP up for success. AP being the same man that caused Telesco to lose his job after 11 years. Oh, man, what a wicked time we in. There is mutiny on this shit, Cap. I am telling you, there is mutiny on this shit, and it's going to get worse.
Okay. A lot to take in there, and I'm going to see if I can get it one by one. Brother, I love you, but you can't have everything and your cake and the hooker to give you a blowjob and the prime rib at the same time. Can't do it. Can't do it. Okay. And again, it was all those things together. And if you say you can have the cake and the hooker who gives you the blowjob and the prime rib, then you and I are going to go out and find it. Okay. And yeah, maybe in Vegas you can, but maybe not with the Vegas Raiders. Okay. And yes, I knew you were going to come back with that, but I took it out of your mouth. Okay. Here's the point. Josh Jacobs left because Green Bay offered him a contract that was more than what the Raiders were going to give him. Now, I will say that I appreciated the fact that Josh Jacobs didn't go to the Chiefs, who offered him a better contract. That, to me, was awesome as hell because he didn't want to play for the Chiefs, and he took a really good contract with the Packers, and that's great. But Josh Jacobs in Green Bay is in a line situation that works for him, and Zeus White, if he was running behind a fucking power blocking scheme, would be a lot better. The problem is that the scheme isn't efficient for that, and we have offensive line issues. Now, the other thing, and I might not be taking them all at once as well. Here's the thing. Everybody's bitching about Luke Getsy, and I kind of agree with that as well. They had the opportunity to get Cliff Kingsbury, and he was the guy. But we told him, by the way, if you think we're going to go up and get Caleb Williams or Jaden Daniels, no, we're not doing it. So Cliff Kingsbury said, okay, I'm going to take my football and go home. Fine, fuck you. I'm not going to be your OC. So that took that out of the equation. It was Kelly and a couple other people that were possibilities, and Luke Getsy was the person that was available. There were plenty of other people, but he was the guy that was available. And could we have gotten a better OC? Probably. But the important thing is that we need an offensive line that can fucking run power block instead of zone blocking. And until they do that, we're going to have the same shit that we see. This is the wrong offensive line with the wrong running back in there doing it. Okay? So and here's the other thing. If Jacobs was behind this offensive line, it would still suck, and Jacobs would be having pitiful yards. Maybe a lot better. He wouldn't look this bad.
He would not look this.
Okay, he would not look as bad.
Right. It's not like he had the cowboy line of '93 throughout his entire career here. He's one of the best at breaking tackles. He don't go down at the first hit. You know, when he's healthy, he is a problem. He brings it. So, but Zamir is like Stevie Wonder. He has no vision. So no matter what line you could bring back Gene Upshaw from the grave, and it wouldn't make a difference because he has no vision. And speaking of Cliff, that's a great point you bring up, Kat. That backs up what I said about Telesco was never interested in Jaden Daniels, despite AP having that in his heart and even having that kid in our house in the last game of the year, whereas every pundit in America felt AP knows this kid is all set up for the Raiders to make a aggressive move. And that's why you didn't hear any leaks of any trade proposals, because there were none. Just like they removed AP from the Josh Jacobs talks, which Jacobs confirmed, and AP, they did the same thing on draft day. And Telesco, being the lazy type of drafter he is, and that's why Charger fans rejoice when he got fired. Now we have inherited that idiot, and the worst is yet to come. I hate to say it, until we get rid of Tom Fiasco.
That is right. Okay. I'm going to stop you there too. Again, 1 year does not a fiasco make. It can be the first chapter in a book, but I am at least, because you know that you and I have been at odds at certain times. I gave Derek Carr, I know that's a fucking curse word on this show. I gave him years to prove himself. And you were hammering me. You were hammering me. You were hammering me, right? And then I came around because I wanted to see a year upon year upon year. I'm not throwing in the towel on Telesco yet. But I mean, and if you're right, you could say, I told you so the very first fucking time. And that's great. And I'll give you credit for that. But I'm not throwing the towel in on Telesco yet, based upon the fact that at least he has the general manager experience that nobody else wanted to come here for. Now, I don't remember if there was any other GMs available. I would have given it to Champ, to be honest.
Exactly. That's more organic. Everyone could grow together. You bring in a dude who you got fired a month ago. And he's supposed to be now so committed to AP, who he has to make acquiesce to, because conventionally the GMs will hire the coach. It's already backwards. So you got a friction, even if they are trying their best not to show it. And he's been asserting his authority in little ways by little by little by shooting down what AP's hope was. And that's why Cliff got out of there, because he probably said, well, no, I'm not going to go get Jayden unless he dropped to us. Devontae just said that today. And only a crazy man would think Jayden was going to drop down to us. So if you don't he didn't even make an effort, Cat. And it's going to come out sooner or later. Just like the Brady thing a few years ago, when he made those comments, and I told people he was talking about Carr, when he said, you chose this motherfucker, and then Dana White confirmed that years later, and the deal was in place, and Gruden said, oh, no, thank you. That's my guy. And Brady won the Super Bowl that year. It's going to come out after the fact. I'm telling you that we probably could have worked something out.
Wait a second.
And Telesco didn't want to do it.
Wait a second. They won a Super Bowl because it was fucking scripted for the fucking fake Pirates, man. It was scripted for them. Brady comes to the fucking Tampa Bay fake Pirates, and they had everything going for them. And it was kind of like the way the Chiefs shit is scripted almost every play for them. Okay. In fact, it was only the Brady and the fake Pirates that could beat Kansas City that year in the Super Bowl, because if it had been anybody else, Kansas City would be going for like a 5-peat right now.
Yeah.
So
Telesco is not the guy. I would have preferred Ziegler to stay. You could have sent McDaniels packing, and I'm on record about McDaniels from day one, Cat.
Yeah, and you are.
Go back to your show.
I give you credit.
It's on YouTube in your library. I'm on record.
Yes, it is.
Day one, I told you this was a disaster.
That's
you could have kept Ziegler, who did do some good things.
You can crow about it because you said it, and I will back you. As soon as it happened, you said, fucking McDaniels is a fucking wasted piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. And you were correct, and you were there on it, okay? And I give you credit for that. Now, I never not said that you weren't right when you weren't right, okay? So I'm just saying.
So I'm like Moses. I'm warning you again, Cat. Come over here and cross this river. I don't want you to get caught in that ocean. Let me lead you to the truth. Don't be deluded and waste another 3-4 years of your life, and we get to maybe 6-10 or 6-11, and this guy Telesco, Pee Wee Herman stunt double, gets fired, because that's what's in the future, and that's what. Come on, with all the FA money we left on the table, and this is the O-line we got. You didn't pay Jacobs. So what was your excuse? You didn't get the best QB that was available on the market. There was a few that made more sense than Minshew. and you sure as hell didn't make any aggressive move in the draft to get anyone. He did what he always do. He only moved up 3 times in the draft in 12 years with the Chargers. And one of them was to get Monty Teo.
Wait a second. So I want you to tell me, because when people post shit like this, I said, I want you to tell me who was available in free agency that was, okay, we know it was Cousins. Cousins was the person, but that was way too much. Who was available on the offensive line that was available for us that we didn't get?
Well, I was referring to quarterback, but however, O-line, I don't have all that data in front of me. We're talking about 32 teams. No. But you're going to say this is the best we can do?
That's what I'm saying, though. If you're going to say X, wait a second. I'm giving you time to go back and research it. Because like the same thing I said,
I'm on the job, Cap. I'm on the ground, Cap. I don't have I'm not readily accessible to that information. I'm on the job. You know that.
I know. What I'm saying is I know you, and you will research it, and you will come back and say, motherfucker, this is what I was talking about. That's why I said it to you when you do have the time. When you do have the time, I know you're going to come back and say, this guy. By the way, like I said, I'm on board. I would have just given Champ the wings. The problem with that is the problem with that is that Champ Bailey still, or not Champ Bailey, Champ, I'm brain farting his name. Champ still needs some seasoning. Okay? He's right there.
But every GM was a first-time GM at some point in time. Every coordinator's had a first day. Every GM has had a first day on the job. You know, that Al Davis had a first day as GM long time ago, once upon a time. But instead of getting the same old retreads and failures.
Text me. Go ahead, Thanos. I just tell Ed to text me.
You know, the Raiders have always been about innovation. You know, not just bringing in a tired failure like McDaniels was, like Telesco is, who we put on the unemployment line. That just feels so beta and effeminate to me. It's not Raider-like, you know. And then you're gonna hope that he messes with AP's demeanor, vision, and already we are seeing cracks in the armor. The natives are restless. Body language is changing. You don't really get a upgrade at QB. You get another mediocre placeholder. You lose your running back who didn't want to reset the market, and he was on record with that. He said, if you want to bring a better QB in here, I will gladly take a pay cut. Jacob said that a few times. And that's why some people in Raider Nation resent Jacobs, because he wasn't some super rah-rah Derek Carr type. He wanted someone here that would take this team over the top. He didn't criticize Carr, but when asked how he felt if Brady or Rodgers came here, his look said everything. But Zamir is not the answer.
Okay.
So we squandered this offseason so terribly, Cap. Just think back to January and February with all the promise we had, the way we ended last season, and this is what we're looking at.
Go ahead and pee, Cap. I gotta keep going.
I gotta pee.
Let Cap
Thanos,
pee.
I gotta pee. I'll be back. Okay.
Let out that man.
I'm sorry, my old man shit.
You can keep going, Thanos. Go ahead.
So yeah, bro. So Raider transplant. I think you can agree this offseason was underwhelming, to say the least. If you can place yourself in your emotions as we beat the Broncos, the last game of the year last season, and all the hype and hope and passion and renewed spirit we had, and everybody and their mama was saying, we're going to get a quarterback. We're going to get a quarterback. It didn't happen. Gardner Minshew, the guy who beat us in the last game in Oakland. Okay, that must mean we're going to get some big names on the other side of the ball. Now we got zero depth. We get struck by the injury bug. Epps is gone. Kuntz is out. Max Crosby, bless his heart, he looked like a shell of himself because he's trying to play on one leg on Sunday. And this is what we stuck with. We got a tight end who feels like a project for Telesco's future quarterback. See, but he just wanted to secure him because he probably felt he's too good of a talent just to bypass. So let me get him, put him on ice, though he may not make any real difference in the win-loss department. And when we get AP out of here and I get my own coach and quarterback, Brock Bowers will be a household name in this game. And I believe that's what Telesco's thinking is. He's an agent of sabotage. He is not totally in alignment with who AP is. And the mere fact that Devontae spilled the beans and said the Raiders were hoping that Jaden would slip to them told me everything I needed to know. And looking at his track record with the Chargers, some of his crazy draft decisions, his lazy way of drafting, lacking depth, never really. He didn't even build an O-line for Phillip Rivers. He inherited a franchise quarterback and let Rivers go out beat up and broken down, a man who arguably had a Hall of Fame resume on sheer numbers until Rivers had to leave in frustration and disgrace finally. He couldn't even build an O-line around Rivers. And he was there 11 years. No division titles, no playoff wins. So what the hell is he doing here? Champ Kelly could come here with the same resume. No playoffs, no division titles, but he's new. He's organic. He's in-house. He's on board. He was a part of the rejuvenation of this team late last year. They got Jack Jones here that re-imbued the spirit and lifted the hopes of this fan base. Not some fucking foreigner and enemy looking all smug and stupid who we put on the unemployment line and he's supposed to be our savior. Mark Davis bumbled this terribly. And AP just isn't free enough to speak on.
I gotta stop you, Thanos. I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you, Thanos, because I need to yell at Jack Canna. Fuck you. I was back in 2 minutes, you motherfucking asshole. Jack Canna is gonna be back in 10. Okay. I did 2 hours. I'm good. Fuck you. 10 minutes, my fucking ass. Fuck you, Canna. Okay. The other thing is that I'm trying to catch up on the comments. Okay.
So Mike Sarah's saying that Thanos is out of his mind. He's insane.
Well, Mike Sarah and Thanos do not get along.
Oh, okay.
I know that.
No, I don't have no enemies anywhere, bro.
I'm just saying that. Okay, you're okay. I apologize. That is correct. Your opinions.
A nation is comprised of many people, but we still stand under the same shield.
I got you. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Your opinions.
I never met the man.
That's right. Let me fucking explain, motherfucker.
Okay.
Let me explain. Goddamn, I got to fucking shout on my own fucking show so people will fucking hear me. I love you. Shut the fuck up.
Maybe you show that passion next time at the next home game. Maybe we'll win. You look at, but then again, you wasn't distracted by your death.
Wait a second. Don't ever say that I don't have passion. You know that.
Well, you do, cool. You do.
Don't ever say I don't have passion. I'm just saying I'm trying to explain to Angelo that your opinions and Mike Sarah's opinions clash most of the time. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Okay? And like I said, I have to shout on my own show just to be heard. Come on, guys. This is bad.
I've been quiet this whole time, Cap.
Yeah. I heard because like I can hear the volume that I have on this thing. I can hear in the other room when Kenneth said I'd be back in 10 minutes. Fuck you, Jackowitz, too. But I came right back after I pissed, okay, and said it. Now, Thanos, I'm going to ask you because this is what I want to know. this is what I want to know. Do you think that AOC 12 should start over Minshew? I think the answer is yes.
It's tough because I'm actually worried for AOC behind this O-line. I see him taking a much worse. The one win that we did have against the Ravens, the big day by Brock was made possible because of Minshew's feet. He is somewhat elusive and was able to find him and Adams in certain spots. That's not AOC's strong point. And not behind this O-line. And I like the kid. We got the same birthday, September 1st. So that would be suicide.
Well,
in my opinion.
I've often said that behind this offensive line, he's not ready yet. But eventually he needs to be the quarterback if we're not going to get if he's our only quarterback that we have this year, the O-line needs to improve. And that was by throwing JPJ in there and having Glaze in there. And I would survive with them over what we got now. Okay? Try birth by fire. Birth by fire. Throw Glaze in at right tackle. Throw JPJ in at guard or center. Move people around, okay? And if Colton Miller is playing hurt, then God forbid play Andres Pete in there if Mumford's going to be out a while. We need to get the best 5 guys out there, and God forbid we need to find them now because we need to improve the offensive line. We need to run block a hell of a lot better. And I would say that Aiden O'Connell obviously also needs to learn how to fucking be more mobile. He does need to do that, but I still think that he gives us the best chance to win this year is Aiden O'Connell.
Well, you never know. If Minshew gets hit at the wrong time and the football gods want it to work out that way, we shall see. But I don't want to see the kid take a beating and running for his dear life behind that O-line or having his confidence beaten down. Though he has a lot of weapons here as far as wideouts are concerned, but it's a catch-22. So we're kind of stuck with Minshew by default, just based on the Baltimore Raven game and some of the things that he showed in glimpses. As I said, okay, maybe finally we got a formula when you saw Devontae excelling. You saw Brock Bowers having a great game. You saw Jacoby, being the guy that we know that he is. So, but I wouldn't rush that kid out there just yet. Not behind this O-line. That's suicide. And lastly, Cap, I don't expect everyone to agree with me, but one thing they will never call Black Thanos is a liar. Look, it's not my fault McDaniels got fired. I just told you that he wasn't the guy. It's not my fault for 8 years I told you would never win a playoff game under the former quarterback. And then when we got there at the 9-yard line with a minute to go and 4 downs, he threw 4 incompletions, including the last pass, which was out of the end zone and triple coverage, which was intercepted. And he just reminded me again and showed me why I love him so much Sunday as he threw that interception with the game on the line in New Orleans. So let that go. If that's your reason for, I don't like that Black Thanos, let that petty shit go. Because I didn't like when Ken Stabler was wearing an Oiler uniform as a kid, and I got to pick up Inside Sports and see the snake in those baby blue colors. And he won a championship. He won 5 division titles. I've been in this nation a long time, Cat. You see me in many cities. Most of these people don't like me. I don't see them anywhere.
I got you.
You know my resume, Cat. I'm not some couch. I'm not some couch coordinator or GM. I've been in the trenches for a long time. Way back to Oakland, being in the Black Hole with Rilla and everyone else. Section 149, row 1. That was my seat for the last game in Oakland. Row 1. So I don't need anyone's approval or permission. It takes a lot of people to comprise a nation. We can have different opinions on our approach, but the bottom line, the common denominator is wanting what's best for this shield. And the shield supersedes any individual, any player, any quarterback. That's why we don't retire numbers. It's about the shield and the mission. So if you want to be a Saints fan, please run over there and put on their colors. This is Raider business here, all day and every day.
Having said that, we're almost up at 3 hours, and I want to make sure that Angelo has at least some time to get in his views. And I'm cutting it at 3, which is why I don't want to shout when I say that. Okay, so thank you for coming in. As I always do, I appreciate everybody coming in. And I'm sorry I had to shout earlier, but it's like shit. I got to get a word in. But Thanos, take care, brother. And we'll see you another time as well. Okay.
I found
Angelo,
it
you
found
know what?
Black
Fuck you, Ken. No, I'm just saying I have to fucking pee. Okay, I'm sorry. When I gotta pee, I'm not gonna piss in my pants. Okay, and no, I'm gonna go pee.
Right.
So
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, would have been nice to see you on this one, Mike Sarah. That would have been cool. No,
Well,
I was just gonna say, Cap, that I let Thanos go because I believe that he is speaking for the side of the frustration of so many. I mean, I was sitting at that 50-yard line seat, and again, you're so close to the players that the players can hear what you're saying. There was a guy around maybe 2 rows ahead above me that got up in like his shirt. You could totally visibly see him. He had his Raider hat on, and he was yelling at AP. He's like, "You suck, AP. Get your shit together, AP." And like the players are looking at him. And so I get where Thanos is coming from, because he's not the only one that's feeling that way. I just choose to pick the positive narrative, Cap. I believe that, again, it's not Chicken Little. The sky is not falling. Every game we've had, I mean, I know we're overanalyzing this game right now because we got destroyed, but I honestly believe that this game, and I was there, Cap, so I saw it with my own eyes. It's kind of like when I watch a heavyweight boxing match where 2 heavyweight punchers can both punch and can both knock each other out. We're just the ones that got knocked out this time. But I do believe that we have the capabilities to have beaten the Panthers, but we went into it with a game plan that didn't have an adjustment. I think we're trying to fit a round or a square peg in a round hole in Gardner Minshew. If we keep running the offense this way, where we're going run, pass, like that's not going to work. And we just need to make a decision right now. If there's one thing AP could do, Cap, as the head coach, as the CEO, is he needs to make a decision. Which O-lines are we going with? Because we can't keep having these excuses of if you're hurt, then blah, blah, blah. It's like you're either playing or you're not. It's just like when I was in the boxing world, Cap. If you choose to get in the ring, then we don't want to hear the excuse that your hand might have been broken, or, hey, you chose to get in the ring. Either don't go in the ring or do go in the ring. Like, which one is it? So I love Max Crosby. You know that, Cap. And at times, maybe he's hurting the team in some fashion.
I agree.
Because I'd rather him at 100%. Like, if we were going to lose that fucking game anyways, all right, sorry to cuss, but if we were, okay, then we could have just taken Max Crosby out in the, I don't know, at the end of the like maybe halfway through the third, or maybe at the end of the second. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just didn't want to see him put more effort and then possibly get hurt when he could be resting. But hey, man, he knows his own body. Like, I'm not going to question him. He knows what he's doing and wants to play 100% of the snaps. That's on him. But we can't make that an excuse as to why we didn't get the sacks. So if AP, as the CEO and head coach, knows that Max is hurt, then that means he needs to figure out other ways on how we can get the sack or how we can get the win. Because at the end of the day, Cap, it's just win, baby.
Right. And so I gave you 5. I gave you 5 minutes. So that actually technically 4 minutes and 30 seconds or whatever. Okay. Here's the thing, folks. And again, I'm cutting off at 3, so I'm only going to cut my comments down to like 3 minutes. Okay. And thanks. Beard is looking on point. Thank you there, ever evolving Natty. Yeah, I did. I let my stylist do my beard and my hair today. Yeah. Here's the thing. I still don't know what to make of this team. I don't know. Like I said, selfishly, I want to see 7 wins so I get some money in Vegas. But if it doesn't happen, oh well. I mean, that's why you call it gambling, and that's why I don't gamble for sure. Okay. I still want to see Aiden O'Connell as the quarterback to find out once and for all if the people in the chat are saying that, you know, because I think Aiden O'Connell won the job in preseason. Personally, I think he won the job in preseason, and that's playing behind different sets of offensive linemen and all the things they're going. Okay. We're going to need to find out before too long what we got. And oh, by the way, those rumors about Stafford, if we figured out that you know, that's the guy, Stafford would have been great about 3-4 years ago. But what do the Rams want? I'm not giving up the farm for Matthew Stafford as an LA Ram quarterback. I'm not. Okay. And yeah, there's that collateral of and was it Thanos was saying about how those collateral of the draft picks are moving up. Hey, it's spilled milk. It didn't happen. Would we have been better had we had Jaden down? We definitely weren't getting Caleb Williams, but would it have been better if we had given up a little bit of the farm? Okay. We'll see, but I don't know what to make of this team yet. That's not calling me a fair weather fan. Fuck you. I've been a fan for 52 years. Okay. And thank you, Hassan. I agree that as well. I think you will be okay. He's going to get sacked behind this line. He's going to get sacked, but he'll also figure out when he needs to run a little bit. He'll figure out when that time clock goes that he needs to move. He'll also figure out that he needs to go check 1, check 2, run. Okay. And I get it. Okay. Well, and the other thing, Mike, so, okay, maybe so, but you don't fucking improve unless you learn on the job. You need to learn on the job. Will the Raiders draft a quarterback next year? Yes. When? We don't know. And again, I'm not selling the farm for Shedeur Sanders. Not doing it. Cam Ward, sure. Clinton Ewers, great. Like I said, the kid from Georgia, whose name escapes me. Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Carson Beck.
Beck. Yeah. Hey, Beck to Bowers again would be good, right? Or maybe some, but there will be quarterbacks, but I don't think that they have the talent they've had the last couple of years there. But we'll see. The Raiders are going to draft a quarterback. The question is when. But they still need, you know, as Sharif says, you know, Tom Fiasco. Okay, I'm giving him at least 2 years, if not 3, to figure out if he was the bust that he said, you know, Thanos says he was. Okay. But I also know that Telesco was hamstrung with the Chargers by decisions above him. Decisions above him played a factor into what he had to do. Okay. So that's something that not a lot of people know, especially in writing contracts. He didn't write contracts. It was the people above him. So who's to say what he could or couldn't do with the Chargers? Okay. So there you go. I'm not right. I'm not going to make 3. I'm not going to make 3 hours. I'm going to go over. Sorry. I can't show this show again because I can't, because They said, "Hey, can you run the show
You
again?"
broke your
No.
promise, Cap. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
But here it is. Well, I can get on. I can do it now. It's 2:59:43. I can just cut it now. But here's the thing. If you were here, thank you. You know I don't like going over 2 hours because then I can't run the show again. And then as soon as I ran the show, they said, "Hey, can you rerun the show for another person?" And the answer was no, I can't because you got to have 2 hours. You said even Tay wants Minshew over Aiden. Okay. But Tay Adams was the one that was saying last year how he wanted Aiden O'Connell over Jimmy G Spot. So
actually,
he could be
Tay today this morning on Kay Adams' show said that they did go up to him, asked him if he wanted Aiden O'Connell, and he said no. Let's stick with Gardner Minshew, and he explained it as you don't want your girlfriend to feel like you're looking at another girl. So that's what Devontae Adams said.
Yeah, well, okay, got it. But you know what? If your girlfriend ain't all that in a biscuit, and the chick you're looking at is a lot prettier and puts out, I'll take the chick that's prettier and puts out. But that's me. And yeah, I kind of went there, but there it is. Here it is. Remember, Jack Kenna's on the Wild Wild West show tomorrow. Wednesdays, obviously, NFL Nation Live is on this channel. Providing I get the simulcast in time, it'll be on this channel. So you got
it's the NFL Nation Live with Violator, yourself, and Ref Guru. It's on Wednesday, so that's tomorrow. It's at 3 p.m. Pacific time, which is 6 p.m. Eastern time, right?
Yep.
And then after that, it's the Wild Wild West show at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Yep.
Okay. 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then I am planning on, for any of you who want to listen to some Raider and boxing talk, me and Papa Rundown are we're gonna keep it under 2 hours, maybe even less. But we're gonna talk about boxing and Raiders. We'll see, Cap, because we're not gonna really let anyone else come on. But maybe Severe will come on. We'll see. But we're just gonna go Raiders, let them do the Thanos and talk about all their anger. I'll be Mr. Positive. Stick to the positive. We'll talk a little boxing. So that's going to be tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. And
well past my bedtime Eastern time.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Here's the thing. By the way, hopefully I will have my flight on Friday. Because there is a hurricane in the Gulf, but it looks to be at least west of us. So we're going to get a lot of rain starting tomorrow and Thursday. So hopefully it wouldn't affect my flight on Friday. But when I get in on Friday, Angelo, I might pop in again, and maybe we can do another run. I don't know. I got to get with the people that I'm going to be seeing on Friday and see what the plans are. But here it is. I will be there. I will be supporting the team. I'm only missing the Steelers game because I'm working.
Otherwise, you would have been here.
Otherwise, I would be there. Okay.
And that's why he gets to talk this way, people, because he's actually putting his money where his mouth is. You can't just be a fair weather fan. I mean, again, man, I'm not in the Captain Jack level of richness, so I'm not like sporting yachts or
fuck you, Captain Jack level of richness. I've been unemployed since last September and only have a part-time job every other month for 2 weeks. That's not a lot of money, but it's better than nothing.
That's true,
and I applaud it. It's better than zero, because 1 is better than 0. $2 is kind of like, if you got a $20 bill, put your hands up. You got a $50 bill. Hey, any of that money, I'm putting my hands up. Okay. So I will be working. That's why I'm not going to Denver. Although I don't think I fucking want to go to Denver anyway, the way most of those fans are. I'm not going to the Steelers game, and my flight is leaving right on the Saturday to come back here. Where would I go to LA? No, because I'd have to come home and then get my shit and go to LA, and it ain't happening. So I am missing those 3 games. But I will be back for other games, like starting with Kansas City after that. But we are going to go, oh, yeah, AOC would have lost the Ravens game, man? Yeah, probably. Probably. But you know what? We need to see.
I don't know.
We need to see. We need to see.
I don't know. Yeah, and again, we can't do the hypotheticals, man. All we're doing is we're seeing what we're seeing. Gardner Minshew did lose the Chargers game. That's just a fact. Gardner Minshew was our quarterback, so he won the Ravens game. That's just a fact. And he really got blown out in the Panthers game. And again, I stuck around to watch that final 4 minutes of Aiden O'Connell and JPJ beauty. And I gotta say, I liked it, Cap. I mean, I'm not gonna lie about it. I liked it. I understand it was garbage time, but I kind of saw a possible future. And again, given the fact that there's only one CJ Stroud and one Jaden Daniels so far looking good, everyone else needs to develop. Darnold needed time to develop. Dalton, he's in the same boat. I feel like even Zach Wilson, did you hear this, Cap? They are talking about Zach Wilson going to Miami with Mike McDaniel. And honestly, I mean, it's not like Zach Wilson can't roll out and run, and he can sling the ball. And if you already have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, maybe he looks better than what I mean. I don't know. Sometimes it's a system thing, guys.
Well, like I said, they need somebody in Miami because Miami fans were giving me shit about the way we looked, and then fucking Tua gets banged up, and I'm like, and being the nice person I am, I didn't fucking throw it in their fucking face. Okay, I would have, but I'm better than that. But fuck Miami and fuck their team. Okay, here's the thing. They need a quarterback too. We need a quarterback if we don't figure out who our quarterback is. Gardner Minshew is our quarterback right now. Aiden O'Connell is possibly our quarterback in the future. We'll see. The Raiders are drafting a quarterback next year. It just depends upon when. But we need some more help on the offensive line. That's a given. So we need that free agent offensive lineman. We don't need to re-sign James to a contract that he didn't deserve. I said it. You know, he got signed to a contract he didn't deserve.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
I agree.
So, but we'll see what we got. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all being with me. For those folks that are over there on Instagram, because I know that I'm pointing this way. I'm looking this way because my Instagram screen is this way. Thank you for being there on Instagram. Thank you for being there on YouTube and all the other channels. I know that the one gals that came in, obviously, Sonia, aka Pink Fanfare, that started off the show. You know, they left their channels up so you guys can come in anytime and talk sports with us.
They were great. Pink,
yeah.
And Sonia was great. They were awesome.
Yeah, remember Sonia is on the Northeast Streaming Sports Network with me, so and she has great shows. I didn't even cuss on her show.
Oh wow!
When I was on her show, yeah, I didn't cuss.
Wow.
So, yeah, I did use the word fellatio though. But it wasn't it was the exact term. I used the term and the word. It's not a swear word if it's used in the correct context.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying I used that term and she's like, I don't believe it. I said, hey, I didn't swear. We were talking about different things and that, you know, in the context, it was correct. So anyway, I appreciate Sonia and she obviously she got embarrassed, but I didn't swear. Anyway, thank you for being here. We're doing about three hours and 10 minutes. Not a Stuart Swaggart show yet.
Oh man, but, if I'd have texted him, Cap would have been here.
Yeah,
he would have been for a while.
Well, here's the thing, though. I would just say, you know what? You got it. I'm fucking going to bed.
So Stu, you know, Stu had a lot to say on his podcast the other day. I was like, whoa, Stu's on one.
Well, but I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you for watching. Tune in, share it, share it, share it. We'll get the word out and people will be here. And when Angelo is on with me, I will try to make sure we have the matching hats.
Thanks, Cap. It's pretty awesome.
Okay. Yeah. But other than that, you know, this was the shirt I was wearing, or we would have had matching shirts on too.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah. I wore the Madden shirt because it says I don't know, the Madden rules: be on time, pay attention, play like hell when I tell you to. So I hope we get back to that this Saturday, or I mean this Sunday, and no business decisions. No business decisions from anyone.
Let's just play football and play, like I said, play your ass off when the whistle blows. You know, do just what the Madden rules are. Ange, thanks for being here, brother. You can take us out. You can get everybody out and hit the outro. Y'all take care. We will see you next time as well. That's the one thing I like, because I'm like, how the fuck do you get the big four in the? Because I haven't figured that out yet.
You can do this one. You can do it like this.
Yeah.
Or you can do it like this.
Yeah, no, I know that, but it's like when you do that and you go to a four screen, it still shows.
Oh yeah, that's because you're hitting you're hitting the button with the space instead of hitting the button with no spaces.
Yeah, but so that's what it was on. That's what it was on. When I had four people up, it was on that button.
Okay, that's a good question. It's because whenever you put the comment back up from the comment side, it has to do the one with the space. But when you take the comments off, then it gives you the full screen.
Okay. Because I'm like pushing it, nothing's fucking happening. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's more.
Good night,
he's more of an
LBR.
operator. That's it.
Is LBR
take care,
live
everybody.
Aussie, right? Is that Aussie?
Las Vegas Raiders live. No, I don't know.
I thought that was Aussie for a second.
Well, it's not Avakazi. If it might be Ozzy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Aussie.
I don't. I'm sorry. I know the names, but I sometimes don't know the names with the person. I apologize. I know.
I appreciate it. I mean, I appreciate the takes and the comments.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
yes, it is Ozzy.
Yeah, it is
Ozzy.
Yeah.
Okay, well then you changed it. Then he changed the channel name because it used to be something else, and now it was throwing me because it was something else. And then this is like your third name iteration. That's why I didn't know. So don't blame me, Ozzy. I love you, brother, but I didn't know that you changed. This is your third name.
Right.
Yep, there you go. Made a new channel name. See? Thank you. That was that's like, this guy's cool. He's so good. Now I know, Ozzy, that's you. I will take out. Thank you there, brother, because I do try to do all that. Take care. Angelo's going to pop me out and run the roll, and we'll get out of here.
Yes, sir. All right. Good night, Cap.